now, or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940 or online, lundmortgage.com.
Chase loves soccer.
I'm Chase Carrera, and I'm 12 years old.
And his dream is to turn pro. That's why Chase and his family make sure he's always having fun and squeezing out his best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, buddy, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit-on-the-go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
That's my boy!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by the settlement specialists.
Attention, all women who use popular hair straighteners or relaxers like Motion, Dark and Lovely, Olive Oil Relaxer, or Organic Root Stimulator. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with cancer such as ovarian, endometrial, or uterine cancer after using these hair straighteners, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call 800-681-8345 now to see if you qualify. A recent study in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute concluded that frequent users of chemical hair straighteners were twice as likely to develop uterine cancer. A separate study found that these hair straightening products contain hormone-disrupting chemicals. Call 800-681-8345 to see if you qualify for significant cash compensation. If you or a loved one use chemical hair straightener products like Motion, Dark and Lovely, or other popular brands and developed ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, or other illnesses, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call 800-681-8345. Don't wait. Time is limited to file a claim. Call 800-681-8345. 800-681-8345. 800-681-8345.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQSN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on this June 1st. Happy June 1st to you. Remember, pay your rent, pay your mortgage. Today's the day. We've been warning you all week. This is the Daily Blender as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale, from the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex. Right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rose. My name is Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien is on assignment this week and will be returning Monday. However, I will be out Monday. You were texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. I already have a couple of texts on the text line before we get going here. Historian says, historically speaking, Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band released on this day in 1967. Have you heard that? Have you heard anything from the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Band, Keon? Please tell me you have.
I have, yeah.
What's your favorite song from the album?
I would have to go back and check. I haven't listened to it like a bunch.
You don't have a favorite song from the album, do you?
I do not,
no. We All Live in a Yellow Submarine.
Oh, I know, yeah. I do know that.
Maxwell Silverhammer came down upon his head. Yeah. Let's see. There's a lot on that album.
There is, but
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. How could I forget that? There you go.
Well, true.
A lot on there. They made a movie out of that, you know. CBS did. CBS did. I think that was an album the Beatles did under the influence of acid.
I think that makes sense. It would explain an awful lot about that album.
Hands Across the Water. That's one. Fourth Dimension will text in, I'm sure, and remind me the cuts off of all of those. 888-368-1580. Let's see. Yet another Sunspot 22 says Monty Williams getting the bag from the Pistons. And now Suns await for their new head coach. Well, I mean, he didn't get a bag of money. He's got to go there. He's got to move there and everything. I mean, it's not like they just, hey, Monty, here's a bag of, $100 million. We'll talk about it. Boomer Sooner says, good day, Blender Nation. Sooners just beat Stanford in the first game of the World Series. Only 56-1 this season. Imagine the pressure. What pressure? Haven't they won like 9 in a row or something, Boomer Sooner? The softball. I mean, is there anything else in Oklahoma to do besides play softball or football or baseball or roll up the hay in those hay rolls that they make?
I've been wondering that forever.
You don't bundle the hay; they roll it up. You see what I'm saying? They don't get. Hey, Baylor, get that the hell out of here, man! We roll our hay. See what I'm saying? I don't understand the hay roll. Big George, hello, gentlemen, and happy Friday Eve. Well, the D-backs are losing 4-3, but if they come back and win, they will, at the end of the day, be tied for first place in the NL West with the Dodgers. Let's go, Snakes. Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a second, Big George. Thanks for starting it. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I hope Spo can show that coaching still matters tonight. He's the best in the game adjustments coach in the league. Malone took multiple games to adjust to the Lakers and hoping the Heat snag a game in Denver.
Malone, who swept the Lakers, what are you talking about, man? He swept them. What did he need to adjust?
Baker's Cocky Hen's already pushing Keon's buttons.
If you want to make the case that Eric Spoelstra is the better of the two coaches, there's no argument there, I don't think. If you want to make the case that Eric Spoelstra better at making adjustments, fine. But you're not going to use the series that Michael Malone didn't lose any games to prove that he doesn't make adjustments.
See what you've done, Baker's Cocky Hens. You see what you've done already?
Just
the vein that runs down in the middle of his forehead is already protruding. I've got to go another 2 hours and 55 minutes with this guy, and you have already successfully hit his pissed off button, Baker's Cocky Hens.
I wouldn't say I'm pissed off. What do you mean by that, Baker's Cocky Heads? What do you mean by that? Because if he didn't make the adjustments, how do you win the games?
Well, what he means is it took him a long time to make adjustments against a team he swept in 4 games. It's what he means.
Like, what are you adjusting for then?
It's simple English.
Did he not make a broom sweeping motion fast enough? I don't.
Did he not make a broom sweeping motion?
Because they were down double digits in 2 of those games. And to my knowledge, he adjusted and they won those games. So I'm trying to understand. I don't understand what that means.
Last Optimist. I'm sorry. No, Bruno Baller says, I think they have some casinos in Oklahoma. Do they really?
Yeah, they do. A few.
Huh.
Totally forgot about this.
Damn. Last Optimist says, I like the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by Palette Swap Ninja. We have to maybe look that up. Palette Swap Ninja.
Can't say I've heard of that, to be honest.
A cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band by Palette Swap Ninja. Baker's Cocky Hen said once they shifted Michael Porter inside with AD and the Nuggets ran away from the Lakers while LA stayed in the other games. What?
So, but they won them. That's because the Lakers are in the games doesn't mean that he didn't make adjustments. They won the games, Baker's Cocky Heads.
Boomer Sooner. Wow, I think you need to have guests on the show. That way you can leave me and my Sooners alone. Come on now, Boomer Sooner. Come on. Well, you're a proud, alum of OU. Okay. But it's getting kind of old Give me something else. Give me baseball.
And Boomer Sooner, what fan base does not catch hell on this show?
Give me like what is the OU baseball team all about? How about your bass fishing team? I know damn good and well Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma has a bass fishing team. What have they done in the playoffs?
Do they have playoffs for bass?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing, Keon. Look it up. Bruno Baller says Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was on Sgt. Pepper's. Yes, it was. You're right.
I do like that song.
Cardinal Art, beer me, please. That's all he's got. Just beer me, please. See, I think you have successfully irritated the fourth dimension already.
I was irritated first.
Well,
I mean,
it's debatable.
Guy doesn't make adjustments.
Kind of let him under your skin.
Wins every game in a damn series, but he doesn't make adjustments.
Mr. Pringle says, sounds like Keon needs a vacation. I say give him the rest of the summer off. Wow.
The thing is, I only get paid when I show up, so I can't take the whole summer off.
Walter Mellon says, yo, clam down, Boomer. No one else gets songs sang for them. Wow, clam down. Walter Mellon breaking in with some big capital letters today. All right, 888-368-1580. As Big George spilled the beans to you, Diamondbacks currently, let me look on the phone here, because if the Diamondbacks win today, it's 4-3 now, and the Rockies are batting, and it's 4-3 Rockies right. If the Diamondbacks win today, this is what's on the line. They tie the Dodgers for first place in the National League West. They, number 2, keep their winning streak alive. Number 3, they also are tied for the best record in the National League, ahead of the Atlanta Braves, ahead of the New York Metropolitans. They will be tied with the best record in the National League. And I think it's something like the fourth. We were looking this up before the show. It's like the 4th or 5th best record in baseball, including American League. If the Diamondbacks win, that's a big if. Again, they're down 4-3 right now. Let's go, Snakes. We need you to pull one. If the Snakes have a weakness, it is their bullpen. And it looks like the Rockies have breached that wall into the bullpen of the Diamondbacks. Reese is pitching for the Snakes. It's 4-3, and there's a runner on, 2 out, and we're in the top of the 8th. Speaking of that, I'm still waiting on MLB TV to take over for Bally Sports AZ. That's I'm waiting. It should be happening anytime now. They've already done it for the Padres. What are you waiting on, MLB? What are you waiting on? 888-368-1580. That's what's going on currently downtown Phoenix. Snakes need to win. And then coming in tomorrow night and going into the weekend, the Atlanta Bravos come to town. 3 games back to back at the Bob in downtown Phoenix.
And that's going to be a tough series because we were talking about it before the show. The Braves are road warriors.
Oh yeah,
they do a pretty good job.
They do well on the road. Yeah, yeah, they're a good road team. Not so good at home, but pretty good at on the road. All right, 888-368-1580. We're underway on this Thursday, June 1st. So we were talking about it yesterday, and it came to pass. Monty Williams met his number. The Detroit Pistons found out they kept going up. Monty, 80 million, 90 million, 100 million. And Monty finally broke and said, okay, that's my number. So he will be sign a 6-year, the base salary of this thing, $72 million, which could reach up to 8 years and $100 million with incentives, according to Shams Charania, and James Edwards. Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN notes that Williams' deal is the largest for a head coach in NBA history. Now, you heard us talking about it yesterday, and you know my feelings on this. Is Monty the guy that should be paid as the highest paid head coach in the NBA right now? I know the Pistons are desperate. Where are you, Boogie? Where are you, Boogie Phoenix? I need to know what you're thinking. Where are you, Detroit sports fans? All two of you. I need to know what you're thinking. Big Jim P, where are you at? I need to know what you guys are thinking about this deal of your Pistons unloading the Brinks truck on Monty Williams. 7 years, $72 million, could go up to 8 years and $100 million with incentives. Williams had reportedly declined an offer from Detroit, earlier. He had indicated that he was interested in some other teams and that he might want to take a year away from coaching. But how do you turn down potentially $100 million?
And look, even if it's not $100 million, the $72 million is guaranteed. You can't turn that down either, man. That's,
that's life-changing money.
It is. And it makes him the third highest paid coach in the league, just right off the bat, right behind Popovich and Kerr.
Is he the third best coach in the league?
No.
So why are the Pistons doing this?
Because even if he's not the third best coach in the league, the money will make itself back if he makes them a playoff team. They don't have to become a championship contender from where they are. Okay, you win 17 games in a year. No one's asking you to be a championship contender. Just make the damn playoffs. Build that young talent. Get these guys to play together and to buy into a culture where people are held accountable, where the goal is to put the team first. Monty's good at that kind of stuff. Like, there are a lot of coaches that are great at X's and O's, but then they struggle to get their team to buy in. And that's not a problem that Monty's ever had. And when you have a bunch of young guys who are still learning the NBA, still learning their place in the league, you can tell that it matters to have a coach that can do that. I mean, we saw, what happened in Sacramento with the Kings and that young team, where, you bring in, I'm blanking on the coach's name right now, but you bring in Mike Brown. And he comes in and he's able to build that with those young guys.
But they didn't have to pay him $72 million to get there.
They didn't have to do that, but I don't think they were nearly as desperate a situation. I know the Kings weren't good, but they weren't 17 games a year bad.
And the thing about it is the Pistons didn't fire their head coach that led them to a rousing 17-win season. What did they do? They put him in the front office. They put that guy, what's his name? They put him in the front office. Dwayne Casey's now in the front office for the Pistons. How does that make you feel, Detroit fans? Then they hire Monty, third highest contract in NBA history. I mean, okay, you've got young, talented guys on the team. We talked about it yesterday. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, James Wiseman. You've got a pretty good draft position this year in the rigged NBA draft, which you should be picking first, by the way. This lottery thing is rigged. And I don't care who calls me, tells me to put on my antenna on my head and get my aluminum hat out. It's rigged. It's rigged, and everyone knows it. And now you have overextended yourself. Plus, and I can't find this anywhere. I don't know. Is this $72 million a year part of his $20 million the Suns still owe him for the next 3 years?
No, the Suns still owe him $20 million.
So this is above and beyond the $20 million.
Yeah, that's why he thought he could take a year off from coaching. It's like, look, I'm owed money. I can take some time off. I can catch my breath, and I can still be making money. Except when someone offers you a contract of 8 years, $72 million, I don't care if you're making money already. You take that too. You just have to.
Wow. All he's got to do is I'm sure one of the incentives that he has to hit is he's got to have more than 17 wins this season. That's got to be like number one.
like the base one.
Right?
Yeah.
That's got to be number one. Then number two probably would be 500 ball this season. But don't you think 500 ball, or maybe does it have to be a winning record?
I think 500 probably qualifies.
500 ball. Okay, number
That,
three.
that was the peak that they hit with Dwayne Casey was 500.
Okay, so and then number 3 would be make the playoffs. And number 4 would be go to the second round of the playoffs. And then he's, bam, locked in 8 years, 100 mil. I mean, I would think. Don't you?
It's reasonable. I'd love for and eventually it will come out, the details of the contract. But it's reasonable. And I think a lot of those incentives are probably playoff laden, just so that, you don't collect the $72 million and just kind of go through the motions. Not that that's something that Monty would do, but, teams like to make sure.
It's not the first time that Detroit has done this either. That's how they got Dwayne Casey in their ranks. He had the same thing. He was thinking about taking a year off from coaching after an extended stint with Toronto. But they hounded him, and he finally he gave in. He caved in, and he took the money. He went on.
Former Coach of the Year, Dwayne Casey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same scenario.
So, it's very similar, almost identical, except Dwayne Casey got fired from the Raptors the year he won Coach of the Year.
That seems like a curse, right? I mean, if you've been voted, unless you're Greg Popovich, if you've been voted Coach of the Year, it's like a curse. No, I don't want that. No, thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
Yeah, look, Nick Nurse, Mike Budenholzer, Monty Williams, Dwayne Casey.
You. Yeah, no, thank you.
The list goes on and on and on of guys who win that award and then lose their jobs either that year or the year after.
Yeah. All right. We got to take a break. When we come back, got a bunch of texts on the text line at 888-368-1580. And we got a whole lot more. Still 4-3. Diamondbacks are still one run down as the game progresses downtown Phoenix. Remember what's on the line here. Diamondbacks could tie the Dodgers for the lead in the NL West and have the tied for the best record in the NL. That's what's on the line here. We need the Snakes to win. Let's go, Snakes. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Start betting smarter. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat meet tonight, Game 1 of the NBA Finals at Ball Arena in Denver. Nuggets, the Western Conference regular season champs, are a 9-point home favorite tonight, minus 370 on the money line, while Miami, the Eastern Conference's 8th seed, coming off a 7-game series with Boston, are plus 295 on the money line to win tonight's game. The over-under in Denver is at 219. The Heat are led by Jimmy Butler, averaging nearly 30 points per game this postseason, while two-time MVP Nikola Jokic leading the Nuggets. He is averaging a triple-double. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Throw to the plate. Tag it, he's out.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are off to a great start with young talent playing exciting baseball, competing with the best of the league. This team is full of confidence. How long will the surprising Snakes keep this pace up? What awaits the team now that we are in May? When it comes to Diamondbacks baseball, listen for all the news, information, trades, injury updates, and more. If it's local and it's Diamondbacks baseball, we talk about it. It's gone! 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender for Thursday, June 1st, as we are traveling towards 6 o'clock tonight. And you are on the text line for Dimension at 888-368-1580. Walter Mellon. Bruno Baller says, while the Diamondbacks are playing the Braves this weekend, Dodgers match up against the Yankees over the weekend. Should be fun. Yeah, Yankees are not playing that great a ball, although they're getting better. They're getting healthier, getting some of their players back. And the Dodgers, they haven't been losing a lot. I think they're 5-5 over the last 10 games. So yeah, should be a fun weekend to see how this plays out. But it's still 4-3 Rockies. D-backs are not up to bat yet. Top of 9 in downtown Phoenix. Walter Mellon at 888-368-1580 says, seems high if he's getting paid more than Popovich or Kerr even. Yeah, I would agree.
He's not making more than them, though. He's making $9 million a year.
Huh?
Kerr makes 9.5. Popovich makes 11.5.
But still, that's the third high. I mean,
yeah,
Spoelstra,
that's still
Malone.
He's higher than the two guys in the finals right now. He's getting paid more than them. Yeah.
I mean, geez, if Spoelstra doesn't get a raise after this.
I mean, there's nothing you can say. But no, Miami takes care of their guys, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah.
I think it's high, but we'll have to wait and see. Detroit is they are obsessed with returning a winner, and they should be. Am I criticizing them for paying too much or paying this kind of money to a head coach? No. I'm my thought is, have you overpaid for Monty? Is Monty that good? I guess we're going to find out.
But if you're Detroit, who else are you going to get?
Well, I mean, yeah, but
that's the only question.
If you got $100 million, you could have taken a run at Nick Nurse. He's won a championship.
You can, but Nick Nurse is a guy that had a pick of everywhere he wanted to go. You know, I mean, he went to the Sixers specifically because Daryl Morey's the GM, and Daryl does have a track record of putting together, quality basketball teams.
Well, and you had your pick of the field. You could have taken Mike Budenholzer. Again, he had a championship. He beat Monty. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't know why Budenholzer wasn't the guy that they looked at. Maybe from a player development aspect, they liked Monty a little bit better.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of baffling to me. Kyle G says, I wouldn't pay Monty that much. But I see why Detroit has. They're desperate. I'll also mention that if Phoenix had offered Nurse $10 million, he'd probably be here, not in Philly. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. I mean, when I was reading what Nick Nurse had to say about the 76ers, and he just likes the way that organization is run. They're very, statistical oriented, which he likes. That front office is very data driven. That those kinds of things appeal to Nick Nurse. So when they talk to him, that's the promise that they were able to make. And also, you're taking over with the league MVP in Joel Embiid. We don't know if James Harden is coming back, but even if Harden doesn't go back, that's still a really good roster.
Yeah.
I can see why he went there.
CK says, good afternoon, fellas. Hey, Weather Daddy, beer me. All right. He also goes on to say Detroit was definitely the best landing spot for Monty. Let's see what he can do with all that young talent. I mean, yeah, he's got a young team. He's got a lot of young talent. He's coming in with experience. But I mean, look what he did with DeAndre Ayton. I mean, Book was already a tried and true tested guy. What other young guys on the Suns did Monty develop besides DeAndre Ayton?
I mean, you could make the argument for Mikal Bridges. You could make the argument for Cam Johnson. They're not here anymore, obviously, but those were the guys that were, drafted in under Monty's watch, and they became, important pieces that the Suns had.
I think it was he was caught in that vacuum. Monty was caught in that vacuum of, and now we have a new owner in town, and he brought in KD right away, and that changed the whole dynamic of this team. And there was no longer Mikal and no longer what was his name?
Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson. And his other Cam was injured, and CP3 was injured, and they were fighting injuries all season. So there was that sort of vacuum now, and I think Matt Ishbia wants to take this team in a different direction. So Monty was odd man out. We'll see what they do as a head coach. Why do Phoenix teams always have to wait and be the last one? You know, my kids were like that. When parents, dads and moms out there, you know what I'm talking about. You go pick up your kids from school. You're busy. You got 1,000 million things going on. And you ask your kids to meet you out there and get in the car and be one of the first ones out there so you can get on with your busy day. You know, you collect the kids from the school, you drop them off where they need to go, and you get on with your busy day. Do my kids come out first? Hell no. I had 6 kids, and every one of them was late. They were the last kid walking out of the school when I had a million bazillion things to do, and here comes my kids lollygagging at the end of the day. All the cars were gone. I'm the only car waiting there to pick up the kids. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now my Phoenix sports teams are the same way. They wait.
And the thing is, they had enough time to start this coaching search and get it underway and get all of the candidates in there to where they should know what direction they want to go in. Like, this is actually kind of ridiculous. I find it hard to believe they have no clue what direction they want to go in a head coach, and they're down to 3 guys, and they've been stuck on 3 guys for like a week and a half. Do you know what you want in a coach?
Well, maybe Mr. Ishbia is working on a lot of mortgages, you know.
Well, I mean,
he's got to make some money up. I mean, he outlaid a lot of cash picking up this hobby of his, this Phoenix Suns hobby.
Because Frank Vogel and Kevin Young and Doc Rivers are quite literally 3 different directions for this team.
Well, in my opinion, I mean, for what it's worth, and I'm not you're more of a basketball swami than I am. I'm not even a basketball swami. I'm just a fan. You're a swami. I mean, you've got the head thing on, you know what I mean? You got like the glitter stuff going on,
got some jewelry there.
Yeah. You got the sparkly clothes, you know what I'm saying? Those pointy shoes. You know what I'm saying? You come out, you rub the bottle, and here comes Keon. You're the basketball swami. I mean, in my opinion, you just take a big old, a Sharpie, and you scratch out that name, Doc Rivers. So now you're down to 2 guys. You're down to 2 guys, Frank Vogel, who's a damn good, experienced coach, or you bring in this other guy, what's his name?
Kevin Young.
There you go.
41 years old.
To me, that's your choice right there.
I like a couple of things about him. The fact that he's very much about the strategy of the game. And I like that Devin Booker likes it. I mean, that's important. That's an important relationship. And Devin Booker and KD seem like they're on the same page. So if your 2 stars like the coach coming out of the gate, then you hope the rest of the roster is going to fall in line. And I think that it's, we're looking and we're seeing the success of some of these younger coaches. If you have a guy that you really think is that sharp, maybe give him a chance. Better that. I mean, he was on a staff on your team. Better to have Kevin Young in, Phoenix Orange than have him to go somewhere else and be a head coach somewhere else and have success there when he was in your building.
All right. So, Monty, moving on, and the Phoenix Suns still searching for a head coach. Speaking of head coaches that will not be looking for work, today it was revealed Joe Mazzulla will be back with the Boston Celtics. Old Brad Stevens, he said the team's interim turned permanent head coach would be back next season after his Eastern Conference Finals exit against the Heat. I'm kind of scratching my head on this one. You have a team that is this talented, and they got run by a playing team, albeit the Miami Heat have been playing some wonderful basketball, and you're going against the brain cell that's Eric Spoelstra, the basketball guru. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it seems like the Celtics were infinitely more talented than the Heat. I mean, do you agree that
they should
the Celtics keep on Missoula?
I agree with the decision, even though I'm disappointed in the Celtics and their season. I agree with the decision because I just think that it's not fair to ask a guy to be a first-time head coach and to have the same success that your last first-time head coach also had. He's going to have to learn what it takes to be a coach, and that means making some mistakes, and he made some this offseason or this postseason. And I think that he's going to be able to learn from that. He seems like a really smart, sharp guy. If there was nothing to build on, I'd be disappointed in this. But I think there is something to build on here. I think Joe Mazzulla is going to come back smarter, wiser, with a better idea of how to get his players to play up to their level. And also to a degree, I don't know if I necessarily blame Mazzulla for everything, because there were games where Jason Tatum didn't show up. And I'm not talking about the last one where he rolled his ankle. I'm talking about against Atlanta. There were games where he disappeared. In that Heat series, there were games early in that series where he didn't show up. Jaylen Brown has been in the league how long? And everybody is saying it right now. Jaylen Brown, if you force him to his left, he can't dribble. What? Fix your left. Like that's not the coach. That's the players to a degree. I think Joe Mazzulla is a good coach, and I don't have a problem with them bringing him back because this is his first outing with this team.
In talking about Joe Mazzulla, Brad Stevens had this to say, quote, "I thought he did a really good job with this group. Everybody's going to overreact to the best players and coaches after every game. That's always the way it is. We know that going in, so we have to be able to judge things on the whole. He's a terrific leader. He'll only get better at anything that he can learn from this year because he's constantly trying to learn. He's accountable. Those leadership qualities are hard to find. I know they're easy to talk about, but when you can show all those enough, the expectations and the microscope that he was under, that's hard to do," end quote. I mean, that's a pretty glowing report.
And it's true. Like, I don't think that Brad Stevens is just saying stuff too. I mean, I don't remember exactly which game it was. It might've been the game where they were down they went down 0-3 to Miami. And in the post game, he took the blame for the loss, all of the blame. And I don't think that makes any sense. The players didn't go out there and play, but he took all the blame so that his guys didn't take any of the pressure. That's a good leader to me.
All right. Let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Got a bunch on there. Here we go. Pinocchio says Monty's contract breaks down like this. So Pinocchio has graciously done all the math for us, Keon. Monty's contract is $5 million a year to coach, $8 million a year because you have to live in Detroit. All right. Thank you, Pinocchio. I was told there were no math on this show.
But he did it for us, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Another texter that needs a nickname, and they don't have one. 8953 says, shout out to Monty getting the largest contract in NBA history from Detroit. And I have an update, breaking news from downtown Phoenix.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
It's final in downtown Phoenix. The Diamondbacks have walked it off. Here it is, 5-4, final score. Diamondbacks continue winning. It's over in Phoenix. I'm trying to find out who had the walk-off. Details are slow coming in here to the big flamethrower. But the Diamondbacks have won. They have beaten the Colorado Rockies and sent them back. Keon holding up the banner now. Go D-backs! That's exactly right.
It's a good day. It's a good day.
So your Arizona Diamondbacks have won. They have walked it off in the bottom of the ninth. I know Corbin Carroll had a single or something. I know he was moving guys around. Wow, Corbin Carroll. D-backs win. Corbin Carroll walks them off with a single. There you go. So now tied for first place in the National League West and tied for the best record in the National League, the Arizona damn Diamondbacks. Who could have called this coming into the season? Not me. Wow. Let's just revel in this for a moment. Yeah. D-backs win in downtown Phoenix, and they will await the arrival of the Atlanta Bravos for a weekend series. Wow. Whew. I may need a moment. Let's take a break. I will cipher through all of the texts that just came in on the text line at 888-368-1580. And we will continue. The Diamondbacks win in walk-off fashion. Corbin damn Carroll does it again. Ladies and gentlemen, these D-backs are for real. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, friends. I'm Ravina Son, head instructor at Peloton. I'm a fitness expert who's passionate about health and wellness, but that wasn't always the case. I've reinvented myself throughout my life and evolved into who I am today, which is why I'm so excited to partner with Evolve Plant-Based Protein to inspire you to get out of your comfort zone and switch up your wellness routine. I love these so much. It's an easy, delicious way to get 20 grams of plant protein and 10 grams of fiber in one serving. Evolve and I have been working on my own AI, my activity inspiration pipeline. It's a way to motivate you on your own journey to evolve, just like I did. So if you're looking to reach your summer goals and stay motivated, direct message AI to Evolve's Instagram for a motivational video from me. Evolve is also encouraging fans to level up their wellness routines and show how they are trying something new with the Shake It Up Social Challenge. So let's shake things up this summer and evolve together.
I know I need money for retirement, but what should I invest in? I also need money for the kids' college fund, and I'm not sure I have enough insurance. How do I balance all of this? I need a stockbroker, a financial planner, and an insurance agent? Ugh.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. Here at Compact, we provide a holistic approach to wealth management with a team of professionals ready to assist you with all of your investment and financial planning needs. We offer our clients a 3-stage process that includes customizing a portfolio to fit your specific investment needs, creating a financial plan designed to help you reach your goals, and estate planning ideas to help ensure that your hard-earned legacy is passed down the way you intended. Call me at 1-800-388-9700 and let's talk about how we can work together to enhance your overall life experience. 1-800-388-9700, 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is a good day here on Thursday, June the 1st, on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. As we reported just before the break, I had to calm down. Diamondbacks walk it off. Corbin Carroll, 2-run ribeye. And the D-backs win 5-4 over the Colorado Rockies. That ties them officially for first place with the Dodgers in the National League West. Ralph? Ralph? Are you there, Ralph? Ralph? Diamondbacks tied with the Dodgers, Ralph. Anyway, And they've got the Braves coming in this weekend. Dodgers were off today, so that moves the Diamondbacks into a tie. Also, that brings the Diamondbacks up to a tie for the best record in the National League. Yeah, you're saying, Randy, it's only June. We got a long time to go here. I know that. You got to give me a win when I can get it. Okay? And I will just ride the wave. I say that on the show all the time. I'm just going to ride the wave. I'm not expecting a World Series championship here. I'm just enjoying a win. 888-368-1580. Lots going on. Baker's Cocky Hens says for $78 million, the Pistons better be getting the full Monty. I see what you did there. I'm in a great mood. I'm not even going to blow the whistle on that one. CK, no, fellas. Suns are off the hook from paying Monty. Language in the contract with the Suns. So I looked that up during the break because I saw your text, CK. I can't find where it says that anywhere. Keon, is that true? Do the Suns still owe Monty? I think we talked about this, but in light of CK's text, do the Suns still owe Monty $20 million?
I thought they did. I'm gonna go ahead and double check that though. But let's see here.
Looks like he's doing the keyboard shuffle right now. Cardinal Lard, who texted in at 3:33. I'm sorry, it's taken me a bit to get here to you. He's texted in before that. Wow, boy, Cardinal Lard, I'm sorry. So Keon, if Monty makes the play-in, in which I believe he will, and get the first round, does that qualify for making 2 rounds like Randy asks? Beer me, Randy.
No, the play-in is the postseason, but it is not the playoffs.
Yeah, there you go. Cardinal Art also says, should the Suns reach out to Bob Myers in some kind of capacity, or do you think he's going to be the paperclip? He's going to the paper clips, Keon. Randy, beer me. Another one. Who's Bob Myers? Cardinal Art says, Kevin Young or Jay Wright, which is far-fetched. But Young is a luxury for KD. You got some good assistant coaches out there. Kevin Ollie and Griffin comes to mind.
Why do you keep saying Jay Wright? He's retired. That dude is not coming back to coach basketball.
Randy, beer me.
He's not coming back.
All right, there you go. Another one.
You got to let that dream go, my friend.
Beer Bob, D-backs win. Carroll walks off with a 2 RBI single. Randy, beer me. Of course I will. There you go. It strings all around. Mr. Wilbur, Corbin Carroll, beer me. There you go. Blissful Hayes. Let's see. Monty can quit his talk show gig now, right? Now that he's making $10 million a year with the Pistons. He said pissed-ons. Pissed-ons. That's very creative. Beer me. Yeah. There you go. I'm just handing out beers to everybody because the Diamondbacks won. Kiss to Cook says, Monty's contract breaks down like this: $75 million and kiss my ass, Suns. Bear me. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that, even though you really shouldn't get one. Let's see here. Mars Bars 805 with the great shot of the Diamondbacks hat, and says, "Happy Thirsty Thursday, guys. I'll take an 805 for the win and go Raiders." There you go. Big George, where's Ralph? Hey, Ralph. Diamondbacks are tied with the Dodgers for best record in the National League. That was beer, Big George. So I'm going to beer Big George as well. Heavy Metal Maniacs, ride that wave, Randy. I'll ride with it. Let's shock the world together.
Okay, so the Suns are not on the hook.
Really? CK was right. So there you go, CK. Another beer for you. Good job, CK.
If he found a job that paid him more or the same or more, wouldn't be on the hook.
Let's see. Heavy Metal Maniacs also says Make it to the playoffs. Hell, go as far as we can, like the World Series. Oh, it's a baseball fan's dream. Yes, it is. Heavy Metal Maniacs, instead of selling one, this bud's for you. Well, whatever beer you like. I'm not going to. King of Kittens just says, hi, beer me. Okay. The Jet, the Suns do not owe one dime. It was in his contract that if you got a new job that paid more, they did not owe him his remaining salary. Oh, very good. The Jet. There you go.
That's a smart move.
Mr. Pink Eye. How about bringing Coach K out of retirement? Randy, root beer me. Root beer.
All of these guys that are made men.
Yeah.
They're not coming out of retirement, man. It's not happening.
How many coaches is Evan Booker going to get fired in his career? That's from Mr. Pringle. Beer me. It's Devin Booker. And I don't think he got Monty fired. So Big George says, Randy, thanks for the beer. I probably shouldn't be drinking while working, but on a special day like today, it's worth it. Beer me. Boy, I'm glad we got that order of beer in before today's show.
How's the poor arm doing?
Well, I mean, listen, look,
they're working you hard.
I feel good. I feel good. The Suns have been released of paying Monty. Heavy Metal Maniacs. Beer me. Here it is. Another one. Gosh, hey, they're coming in fast and furious. Yeah, there it is. You guys doubt me? Beer me. There's another one. See, that's CK. Wow. Diamondbacks win.
Didn't doubt you, but we always got to double check.
Yeah, I mean, we check our sources, CK. Check our sources. That's it. Celtics hired Joe Mazzulla. They've taken the interim tag off of him. We talked about that. Now let's move on. Some news about DeAndre Hopkins. There's been a line of teams lining up ever since he was released. I mean, his phone has been ringing off the hook, and they've been lining up to have him come in and play for their team. And I'm telling you, all fables at this point. There's no truth to that whatsoever. There were two teams, Kansas City and Buffalo, both of which have backed out of the running. Then we go Deshaun Watson wants his old buddy DeAndre to join him in Cleveland town. The old. I'm not gonna say it. First thing that comes to my mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
Watson is probably going to be getting his old pal back, unless the Patriots can figure it out. Because according today to CBS NFL Sports, the Patriots are interested in D-Hop. And I think they're trying to work out a way to get Hopkins on their team. It could actually make some sense for Houston as well. So there's two teams plus Deshaun Watson. I don't know if the Browns can afford him. I don't know if the Browns have the cap room. I don't know if they could bring in DeAndre Hopkins. Now, Houston can. What does it look like to you, Keon? You think and I'm surprised, quite frankly, that more guys, more teams are not interested in D-Hop. But tell me what you think. Houston seems to be the favorite at this point.
I don't know, because Houston, and we mentioned this yesterday, Houston is on their fourth coach in as many years. And D-Hop did mention that stability was something that he wanted. Now, do you trust Houston to ride with DeMeco Ryans? I don't know. He played in the organization. He saw how volatile it was over there. When he got traded, it was because the general manager and the head coach and the owner, none of them were on the same page. They all had, rivalries with each other. And it was a messy situation. I don't know if he goes back to Houston just because of the stability. I also don't know if New England is in the cards because of that too. Do you really trust the team that decided that a defensive coordinator and a special teams coach should be your offensive minds?
Well, but they've rectified that situation. Now they put the chin dimple in there, right?
They have. But again, if you're going to trust a team's year-to-year decision making, I don't know that the Patriots are where you want to be right now.
So DeAndre is free to sign with anybody and everybody. The problem is I don't think teams want to hire him for what he's wanting. I don't think teams are going to bring him in at $19 or $20 million for a season. I don't think there's a team out there except for Houston. Houston may have the capital to bring him in and pay him what he wants. And that's why I say he probably ends up there. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Just the stability issue and the fact that DeMeco Ryans, as a head coach, we know he's a fantastic defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he's an unknown commodity. So again, I don't know if D-Hop wants to go to an organization that's rebuilding. They don't have a whole lot of talent. It's going to take some time, and he's already at 30 years old. So if that's not something he's going to wait to do, I imagine he wants to go to a contender. That's where I would see him wanting to go. And I think the Browns have $17 million in cap space. So they would have enough to maybe kind of have a smaller first year on the deal. But
Jets, Lions, Titans all have said they probably won't be making a run at him. They wouldn't be interested in signing him. But New England is the only one, according to ESPN's Diana Rossini, saying the Patriots have shown some interest in the 30-year-old. But again, I don't think he's going to make $19 million. I think he wants to make what OBJ made or more.
Which makes sense because he's been healthier more recently. He's been a more productive and more consistent football player.
64 of 96 for 717 last year. So, I mean, it's a good line depending on how you look at it. And he only played the second half of the season. He was out the first 6 games. And I think he sat out the last 2 games. So that's 8 games. So he played a half a season.
Yeah. But if you want to talk about teams that have the cap space and could do it, Jets have $23 million in cap space.
I don't think the Jets are going to do it, though.
Lions have $23 million in cap space.
Maybe the Lions. Maybe.
Dallas, the Cowboys, $20 million in cap space.
See, the Cowboys made it sound like they wouldn't be interested in signing him, which to me, it's crazy. Why wouldn't you want to sign this guy?
I don't know, especially since I don't really like the Cowboys receiving core outside of CeeDee Lamb.
What are they doing there? I mean, I know Jerry and his son now, Steven's getting more involved, but the hell are they doing there? If the Cowboys want to be great, don't you think they've got to? I mean, getting rid of Zeke was a smart move, but then they extended, what's his face, the quarterback, which I think was a huge mistake. Now you don't really have any receivers for him. Dak Prescott is not. No wonder the guy throws the ball up for grabs. There's nobody to throw to except the defense.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, Michael Gallup has been, kind of riddled with injuries over the last couple of seasons, but the dude's great when he's out there. They did get Brandon Cooks this offseason. I'll give him that. Brandon Cooks has always been productive. He's one of the guys that gets traded every single year. And you go, why? He's such a good receiver. So, maybe there might be something there more in Dallas to where they feel good. But DeAndre Hopkins, to me, is an instant upgrade over just about every receiving core. Just about. I
don't know why I'm trying to help the Dallas Cowboys.
Me neither.
Lord knows I don't like them. But
shouldn't be, but even if you've got 3 guys you like, if you can add D-Hop and make that just an easy situation for your quarterback, why wouldn't you do it?
And if you're the Jets, if you're the Jets, why wouldn't you go get Aaron Rodgers another target like D-Hop? Why not? I don't understand. All right, that's 1 hour in the books. When we come back next hour, got so much to talk about. There's some amazing baseball stats I want to talk about. Also, you all out there thinking I'm crazy for saying it's rigged? Well. Referee Eric Lewis having maybe a Twitter burner account. And we'll talk about that next hour. And what the hell is HBO doing? They want to do a documentary on Barry Bonds. I mean, why? He's a steroid. He's a cheater. Why would you want to do that?
Let's face it, talking about life insurance is never easy. But after we watched a close friend lose her husband with no insurance, we decided that wasn't going to happen to our family.
Yeah, but shopping for life insurance can be almost as difficult as talking about it.
But then we heard about Ethos Life Insurance. They're a new kind of life insurance built for people on a busy schedule who don't have time for unnecessary doctor's visits, fine print, or hidden fees. You know, who want to keep it simple.
I couldn't believe how easy it was. We answered a few basic questions, and within minutes, we had an estimate of what it would cost and what sort of policy made sense for us.
I never imagined a life insurance could be so affordable.
And accessible.
The peace of mind knowing that our future is secure, it just removes a lot of the fear around getting older. And
Yeah, the unexpected.
I'm glad we talked about it.
I'm glad we went with ethoslife.com.
Go to ethoslife.com now for your free estimate. That's ETHOSlife.com. EthosLife.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
If you're struggling, if you're lost, if you need someone to talk to, or if you're concerned about a loved one, call, text, or live chat the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 988 crisis counselors are available 24/7 to listen and provide free, confidential support when you need it most.
Thank you for contacting 988. How can I help you today?
The first step to help and healing is 3 numbers away. When you reach out to 988, Hope always answers. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, to a Thursday edition of the Daily Blender in the 4 o'clock hour on this June 1st. Pay your rent, pay your mortgage, first of the month. My name is Randy White, right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. As we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale from the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex. You're texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. And we're currently talking a little DeAndre Hopkins, which is leading us towards some NFL talk. In the 4 o'clock hour, we got some MLB stats. We've got an NBA official who's being investigated. HBO has announced that they're going to produce a documentary on Barry Bonds. I mean, what's to talk about? He was normal sized, and then he was gargantuan, and he was hitting the ball out of the park. I've done your whole documentary, HBO. There it is right there.
I wonder if they're going to get Barry in the documentary because the ESPN did the 30 for 30 on Lance Armstrong. And that might be one of the most interesting things I've ever seen because Lance is in the documentary and he's trying to explain his actions. And by the way, it's not working. None of it works. He's just looking like an even bigger jerk.
It doesn't work that Lance is an a-hole just like Barry Bonds.
Yeah, but that's what made it interesting to me was looking at this guy. You know, I love the documentaries about the athletes who'll do anything to win. And that is a version of it where the guy just goes too far. He crosses the line into cheating. And in his head, he's still the good guy. And I don't know I'll never not be interested by somebody who is clearly the villain in the story, but they don't know it. I think that stuff's fascinating.
I don't know Barry Bonds personally. I've never met the man. All I know is that he cheated baseball. And he was a jerk about it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Absolutely
so
true.
I have derived my opinion of Barry Bonds, a professional Barry Bonds, as being an a-hole. He did not like to give interviews. He did not like to talk to the media. All he wanted to do was go out and shoot up and then lie about it and hit home runs. That's all he wanted to do. And you guys out there can say, oh, he did it well. He did it natural. No, he didn't. I don't know how much more clear it has to be for you. His name was in the book from the guy from Balco. I don't know how much more clear it can be. I saw Barry Bonds when he was playing at ASU. I watched him play in his baseball career. And I saw a normal-sized man who was enormously talented turn into a giant freak. If he would have just left it alone, he would have been an all-star. He would have been an all-time great, and he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
First ballot.
That's my opinion. I respect your opinions, and you guys can come on here and stuff, but you're not going to change my mind about Barry Bonds. You can't. I've watched it happen before my eyes, and I've read too many articles on both sides to convince me that the guy is not. He's dirty. He's not clean as he says he is. And he sullied baseball. So did Mark McGwire. So did Sammy Sosa. And there's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that sullied baseball. And we can have this discussion about there are people in the Hall of Fame that were using, drugs. The Yankee great. Oh God, can't think of his name right now.
Roger Clemens.
Well, I don't think he's in the Hall, is he?
No,
did Clemens make the Hall? No.
Oh no. Wait, was it Pettit?
No, I wasn't talking about Pettit. I'm talking about way back, one of the greats. Well, he used amphetamines and all this other business. And these guys would go out all night. They would drink and party all night. They'd show up at the ballpark drunk. They shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame either. I mean, you're probably right, but there was no rule against what they were doing. There is a rule against using performance-enhancing medications. And Barry Bonds abused that rule. And now HBO's going to make a documentary. I won't watch it. I don't care.
I don't know if it's going to be a celebration, though, is the thing. And that's where I think it could potentially be interesting, is if they find the people who can talk about the steroid use and be more specific about it. I'd love to see that, probably.
No, it was. I think it was damning when what's his face for Balco, when that whole thing hit. And there were people who are talking about, Luis Gonzalez, he roided. Where's the proof? Where is the proof? Matt Williams did, and he admitted it. Matt Williams is not in the Hall of Fame, is he?
Good point.
So I just...
Because not every documentary is The Last Dance, where we're celebrating the guy that's the center of the documentary.
I know.
This one is a lot of these ones that have been critical of the guys who have cheated have just been really interesting. Or the people who've had issues. I mean, the Tiger Woods one was also fascinating, because Tiger Woods, obviously all-timer, but there were issues in Tiger's life, and the Tiger documentary goes into those, and it doesn't look away from it. I mean, it gives you details, and it has the women involved in the documentary. And, I was interested, glued to my seat. So
I don't know. I don't know, Keon, you and I will have to talk about it.
Now, if they go out there and they don't address the steroid stuff, well, that's going to be a problem.
You have to.
Yeah. But
And
if they
it's
try
so-
to sweep it under the rug, I'm not going to be happy.
It's just so disappointing for me to know a guy like Barry Bonds who went to ASU, who was, I mean, just uber talented. I mean, the guy had so much talent. He didn't experience, I mean, he was starting to have some injuries. He was breaking down, but this guy was hitting the ball out of the park. He was winning gold gloves. He was winning stolen base titles. He was winning batting average titles. The guy didn't have to use steroids. He just did not have to do it. Let's go to the text line at 888-368-1580. Billy Hoyle says D-Hop only wants money. Yeah.
That's not what he said.
But
I'll let his actions decide that. If he goes to a team that obviously can't contend, but he's got a nice big paycheck, then I'll say, okay, it's for the money. But
I don't know.
He hasn't said where he's going, and we don't know.
See, I kind of don't have a problem with a professional athlete playing for the most money he can get. I mean, if I'm sitting here and somebody comes along and offers me a lot of money, I mean, I love Radio Ron and I love being here with the Fourth Dimension and I love working with Jeffrey but I would be stupid not to investigate at least and maybe take that more money. Isn't that what our economic system is all about?
That's why we all work, is to try and see how much I don't get. Yeah.
When people are like they're criticizing athletes for taking the money, isn't that what they're supposed to do? That's their job, right?
That's what you sacrificed all those hours for. You're practicing, getting the work in while your friends are out partying or whatever else. That's what you did it for, is to eventually be compensated for that.
You also have the right to play for a franchise and not take the money and try to win championships. I think it's all where your goal is. What is your motive? If your motive is to work and make lots of money, take the money. So D-Hop only wants money. I agree with you, Billy Hole. Hell yeah, he does.
But I don't know if he only wants money. Maybe he wants to win, and his actions will show us that. I like, a guy in the NBA, Bradley Beal with the Wizards. Bradley Beal talks all the time about how much he wants to win, but every time the Wizards offer him an even bigger max contract, he takes it and he sits right there and he doesn't make the playoffs and he doesn't get anything done because he knew it's about the money. That's what his actions are saying. So let's let D-Hop's actions tell us what's important to him.
888-368-1580. Lots on the text line. So let's get these wiped out, and then we'll move along here on this Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Sheriff Tom, this is interesting. This is intriguing. Sheriff Tom says a failure to appear warrant has been issued for 1580 The Fanatic. Last Saturday at the Scottsdale Sports Park, a 7-on-7 high school football tournament was going on. At approximately 11 a.m., I noticed a table set up with a 1580 banner and 3 chairs. There was no one to be found. I will accept an appropriate explanation in order to quash the warrant.
Oh, I have one.
And so now, ladies and gentlemen, giving our explanation to Sheriff Tom, a duly sworn member of the Law Enforcement Society in the state of Arizona, here is Keon Rose with our explanation.
Well, it's simple, Sheriff Tom. I understand how suspicious it looks, but the high school football show, or not even football show, high school sports show that they cover prep sports, AZ Preps 365, they were on remote there this past Saturday, and their show airs from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Oh,
and so it is possible that if you showed up at 11 or saw the table at 11, you weren't going to see anybody there at the table because they were going to be out. These guys don't just do a fantastic broadcast Saturday mornings. They also cover high school prep sports for a variety of publications. And so they were out doing their jobs after hosting a radio show on this here radio station.
So does that mean we're not going to get our banner back?
Well, I mean, it'll probably be a while. They're going to be on the road for a couple weeks, from what I understand.
If he was out there at the park, did Jose and Brett and those guys, did they leave our banner behind?
I don't believe that they left the banner
He
behind.
was there at 11, and he says there was a banner out there and 3 chairs and a table, and nobody was there. I think AZ Preps 365 left our banner in Scottsdale.
I don't think that they did. I think that after the event was over fully, they went back and got it because they'll need it again next week.
Kyle G at 888-368-1580 says there is not a single team that could not use Hopkins. He and his agent should be looking at 31 offers right now. I know I'd be happy for my Packers to get a couple years out of DeAndre Hopkins. Agreed.
And in fact, I think the Packers have the cap space to where they can make
I was
a
just
move.
going to say the Packers should be jumping on this, especially because they've got Love back there now.
Yeah, the Packers have 16 mil in cap space. They've got enough money to make this work.
Kiss to Cook. Even though I'm a diehard Suns fan, if I was an owner, I would have given Monty a 1-year contract for less, forced the Suns to pay him to sign him to the $75 million the following year. Huh?
I mean,
even though I'm a diehard Suns fan, if I was an owner, would have given Monty a 1-year contract for less, forced the Suns to pay him, then sign him to the $75 million the following year.
I understand where you're coming from, but I think you're missing one variable in this entire equation, and that is that they are the Pistons. If they had the ability to sign Monty to a 1 year, they would have done that. It took them 8 years and $72 million guaranteed to get him to consider not just taking the year off and hanging out at the house. So, no, I don't think that was going to work, unfortunately.
Let's see here. Mars Bars 805 says, say the name right, Randy. Barry Bonds asterisk. Is that it?
Yeah, he has one of those hyphenated last names now, and the second half of the last name is just asterisk.
What?
Because he cheated.
Oh. Also, he says, I'm driving. Let's make it a double 805s, please. What?
Well, now hold on.
You're driving? And he says the A's took care of business.
Soon.
He says the A's took care of business against the Braves, so let's make sure the D-backs do the same. Go A's and go D-backs. There you go. CK says Barry Lamar Bonds asterisk is the GOAT. I'm looking forward to the documentary. Beer me. Big George. Boy, a lot of texts have come in here. But that's what makes this show go. Your texts. 888-368-1580. I agree with you, Randy. Barry Bonds cheated, used steroids. He is not the legitimate home run king. That title belongs to the late Henry Aaron, a true home run champion. I would say that that is the absolute truth, Big George. And thank you for your comment. Bruno Baller says the sad thing about Barry Bonds was he was a good ball player even before the steroids and probably would have went on to have a Hall of Fame career without them. I agree with you 110%. Bruno Baller, I watched him. I know he would have. Mr. Pringle, MLB all-time hit leader isn't in the Hall of Fame. MLB all-time home runs leader isn't in the Hall of Fame. It isn't a Hall of Fame. Well, I agree with you on one there, but on the other one, I don't. Anybody who was using steroids does not get the privilege of owning any records in Major League Baseball. You became illegal, therefore it doesn't count. Mr. Wilbur says Matt Williams is a butthead.
Good to know.
I've never met him, but I will say he's a bit he's a bit grouchy. He is a bit grouchy. Boomer Sooner said, guys, I heard from Tom Brady today. He's officially buying a portion of the Vegas Raiders. Yes.
That's been official for a little bit.
Yes. Blissful Hayes disagrees with me. Barry Bonds is the best baseball player I've ever seen. I don't care if he did steroids. It's funny that it's okay when players use legal pharmaceuticals, drugs, but people have a fit when it's so-called illicit drugs. Complete hypocrisy.
I don't think so. Pharmaceutical drugs are fine. They're okay. It's that when you take steroids, the steroids are against the rules. The pharmaceutical drugs are not. It's that simple. It's not that steroids are in and of themselves evil. Some people in this world need steroids for various medical conditions and all that. And, more power to them if they need that and they're getting the help that they need. But the rules of the game say you can't use performance enhancing drugs. And Barry Bonds, despite what the rules said, used it. That is cheating because not everybody was using it. And that's the problem.
I will say this. They call them performance enhancing drugs for a reason. Hefty Lefty said, and by the way, Blissful Hayes, I respect your opinion, and I mostly agree with what you're saying. I just don't agree with he should be in the Hall of Fame because he used steroids. I'm sorry. Hefty Lefty says high school plays 7-on-7 tournaments in May. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. They help prepare for, the fall season. That's where a lot of these quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks and receivers, get that work in.
Sheriff Tom says, Keon, explanation accepted, warrant quashed. Good luck finding your banner.
Thank you, Sheriff Tom. Appreciate it.
CK, I didn't say Barry Lamar Bonds' name correctly. I didn't say Barry. Ranty agrees with the Hall of Feelings. Baseball doesn't have a Hall of Fame. Hall of Feelings is ridiculous. Hall of Feelings. Who the hell said I agree with Hall of Feelings?
It's got nothing to do with feelings. Are you a cheater? It's an easy flow chart. Are you a cheater? Yes or no? If yes, you're not in the Hall of Fame. If no, you get to go in. What feelings are involved here? I'm trying to understand now.
Hall of Feelings.
I just
why? That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
What part of don't cheat? If you cheat, you can't get in. Okay. If we're running a race and you have a rocket strapped to your back, you didn't win the race because you cheated. Like that. Well, that's what are we doing? What are we actually doing right now?
We're debating Hall of Feelings versus Hall of Fame.
Apparently.
Ranty, CK says again. Ranty agrees with the Hall of Feelings. Baseball doesn't have a Hall of Fame. Hall of Feelings is ridiculous. Okay,
I agree a Hall of Feelings is ridiculous, but that's not what anybody's saying.
You're saying that again.
Just repeating it seems odd.
All right. Mr. Pringle, sounds like Keon is getting paid by Pfizer. I don't think that's true at all.
By Pfizer?
Blissful Hayes says, hey, Keon, pharmaceutical drugs have killed way more people than steroids. We're not talking about death.
Yeah. And look,
we're not talking about injuring people. We're talking about people that use something to enhance their performance.
We're talking about cheating. It's not against the rules. Performance enhancing drugs aren't against the rules because they kill people. I mean, from what I understand, actually, and from what I've read about the Balco stuff, they engineered that stuff to the player's body so much. They weren't in danger of dying. They were in danger of having an unfair advantage over everyone they were playing. Yes, the pharmaceutical industry is out of control. And the pills that they pushed on doctors and stuff led to an opioid epidemic that we're dealing with right now. That's not what we're talking about. The guy cheated. What does that have to do with anything? And now I'm mad. See, I didn't want to get here. I did my meditation this morning, was burning some sage. I had my Zen. They ruined my Zen. I working for Pfizer. I hate the epidemic that we've got going on as much as everybody else.
Wow.
That's not cheating.
CK, then all throughout baseball history, there has been performance enhancing. Get over your feelings. I never said my feelings. It's my opinion. And I don't have to get over it. And thank you for your opinion. We've got to take a break now. We're a little late. When we come back, we will continue to take your texts at 888-368-1580. And we'll continue to talk. Got some amazing MLB stats that are probably going to end up in the Hall of Feelings. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted.
Let's go. Practice time.
Summer means mini camps, OTAs, then it's on to preseason. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news when you need to know about the NFL offseason. Remember, if it's the NFL, we talk about it. Your home for NFL news, games, playoffs, and Super Bowl in the Valley. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It is the Daily Blender on this Thursday, June 1st. On 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. A lot of activity, a lot of emotion on the text line at 888-368-1580. Mr. Pink Eye says if LeBron James gets in the Hall of Fame, so should Barry Bonds. Why? Why is that? Beer Nut says, Randy, so you think Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Failings? No, I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. But that's just my opinion. And I think Barry Bonds should have been in the Hall of Fame until he cheated baseball. And I think Pete Rose is serving a sentence because he cheated. He broke the rules. And if Pete Rose broke the rules, Barry Bonds broke the rules, and therefore he doesn't get in. I mean, Mr. Pink Eye, don't get your text. What do you mean if LeBron gets in the Hall of Fame, so should Barry?
First off, two different Hall of Fames. Secondly, do you think LeBron cheated? Like, do you think he used steroids? If you think he did, where's your proof?
Mr. Wilbur, wow, I thought I'd never hear the phrase Keon blood pressure. Blissful Hayes says, prove that Bonds cheated. I don't have to. The writers, baseball writers of America have already decided. And if you go back and do your own research, I think you'll come to your own conclusion.
His name was all up in those Balco documents. Why? Because he was just taking a visit?
It's not a matter of me having to prove anything. I don't have to. It's my own opinion, Blissful Hayes. And you can have yours, and that's cool. I respect that. I respect that you think that Barry Bonds belongs in the Hall of Fame. I respect that. I don't have to prove anything. It's just what I arrived at doing my own research. Hefty Lefty, Pfizer doesn't even make the best stuff. Pharmacon has the best Anovar, whatever. High-tech pharmaceuticals if you want D-ball.
What the
hell is Mr. Pringle, Keon's fake rage isn't as good as Big Intimidator's fake rage. Who? Big Intimidator? Who in the hell is that?
I think it's funny that you think my rage is fake, but all right, cool.
Big George, I love when Keon enters the rage cage. You tell him, Keon, Barry Bonds was a cheater and does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Big George, that's easy for you. You're 7 feet tall. You could just spout out stuff like that. Heavy Metal Maniacs. Barry Bonds should never get in the Hall. Pete Rose should never get in the Hall. Roger Clemens should never get in the Hall. They put it on the line just to get an advantage when they were already good players that had to cheat, and that's not good. I mean, I believe that. Beer Bob, Randy, do you think shoeless Joe Jackson should be in the Hall of Fame? Hell, I don't know. Did he cheat?
That was the Chicago Black Sox, right?
I wasn't alive then.
I don't know all the details.
I'd have to go research that. From what I've read already, I don't know. It seems like he was guilty of a gambling scheme. Whether he threw the game or not, it's not for me to judge that. That's already been done. Mr. Pink Eye says there's always been suspicion that LeBron juiced, and nothing new. Suspicion that he juiced.
I've heard that because people look at the way LeBron is built and go, wait, how can you play at that level? But the NBA does regular drug tests and LeBron's never failed one. So,
well, I mean, it's, to be quite honest, Keon, I think you know as well as I, it's pretty easy to fake a drug test.
It is. And he's never been caught though. Like we do need proof before you start saying a guy can and can't be in the Hall of Fame.
I will say I've never heard that LeBron James has done anything steroid wise.
I've never heard from anybody credible.
I wonder if because I'm on steroids for asthma and other stuff, I wonder if that's why my belly is so big. It's because I juiced.
Maybe.
I've been on the steroids.
Been on the roids.
Maybe that's why I rage, because I have a roid rage. I'll never make the damn Radio Hall of Fame now.
Oh boy. Thought we were doing it clean on the blender.
Puts the look. Yeah. Radio Ron he's got information he needs to get rid of me. Finally, I can get him out of here. Puts the lotion in the basket, says, didn't Barry Bonds grow a bicep in his forehead? I'm pretty sure he did.
Basically, how else were they going to fit that giant cap over it?
Okay, Kyle G. The league set standards. Going outside those standards means you have cheated. Corked bats, sticky hands, and steroids. The morality or ethics doesn't matter. I personally don't have a problem with the Astros' actions, but they went against the MLB rules, so they are cheaters regardless of what I want. Thank you. Voice of reason. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty. Rage Cage is a great drinking game at parties. The Rage Cage?
Destroyed me. I only ever played it once, and it's not.
Puts the lotion in the basket. Maybe you grew a bicep on your stomach. Oh, I hope so. Yes.
See, that's how you get that air out. You really project your voice. It's the roids, Randy.
You know, there's been no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Blissful Hayes. The documents can be fabricated, Keon. MLB sided with Bonds by recognizing him as an all-time home run leader. Major League Baseball doesn't want to get into a discussion that we're having here on the text line. They just don't want this kind of heat. And I don't want this heat either. I don't.
So wait.
I mean, I don't care what everybody's opinion is. I just have a microphone and I stated my opinion. I didn't say I hate the guy. I didn't say I'm against all of you guys. I said I formulated my opinion on Barry Bonds, and I'm sad about it. I'm brokenhearted about it because I watched the guy's career, and he didn't have to do it.
And if you just took the first half of Barry Bonds' career and the second half never happened, like he just retires, he probably goes to the Hall of Fame with just that. He ruined his own career. But the idea that documents can be fabricated, that's a true statement. But do you think that document named a bunch of other guys that got caught and then they only fabricated it for Barry Bonds? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Let's see. Big George says, and because all those players were cheating at the time, I think it's incredible the players who did not cheat and still rose to the top of the MLB at that time, like Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, etc. All those guys are legitimate Hall of Famers and never cheated.
And there's a conversation that is rumored to have happened. No one can actually prove that it happened. But basically, it was a conversation with Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr. They were out at dinner, and Bonds was basically like, look, I'm going to get my money. And Griffey said, I don't know. I don't think that's the way to do it. And Ken Griffey Jr. wound up dealing with injuries later on in his career that maybe if he were juicing, he might have been able to recover faster and all of that stuff. But he chose to play the game the right way.
I know there were I know there are people that know the truth, and I don't know the truth. I have formulated an opinion, and I'm not judging Barry Bonds based upon me disliking Barry Bonds. I like him very much. I spent my hard-earned money, and I went out and I watched Barry Bonds. But I know there was something wrong. Something wasn't right. That's all. Pros and cons. Hefty Lefty has pros and cons of taking steroids. Okay, here we go. Hefty Lefty's list of pros and cons of taking steroids. Number one, con: it makes your testicles smaller. Pro: it makes your Johnson look bigger. Wow. And now we've entered the Friday zone on the Daily Blender.
We have, which, you know what? I thought we were going to get here a lot sooner, to be honest.
Heavy Metal Maniacs on the text line says, haters are going to hate when it comes to LeBron James. They're just jealous that he was as great as he is. He's always been a big guy. I don't think he ever cheated, and I'm not a fan of his at all, but I think it is what it is. He did not cheat. He didn't have to. He's just been darn talented. I mean, I agree. I haven't seen it. There's been a slight change, a slight bulking of LeBron James as he got older, but that's normal. That's normal. I mean, if you go back and you look at early MLB pictures of Barry Bonds, yeah, he's sort of a skinny kid out of ASU. Yeah, and I could see him bulking up a bit. And by the time he left the Pittsburgh Pirates, he had bulked up a bit. But you can't tell me that was a natural progression when he went to San Francisco.
No, guy looks like a lean baseball player, and then by the time he goes to San Francisco, he looks like a linebacker. Come on.
Mr. Wilbur says, Barry Bonds took one in the butt. Head. What? What, Mr. Wilbur? Okay. Lacrosse guy says, the dude's hat size increased by 3. He's disgusting. I don't know if he's disgusting. I've never met him.
LeBron James' body got bigger. His head didn't get bigger. His hairline was running away from his eyebrows at the speed of light, but his head didn't expand in size, to my knowledge.
It's so okay. Beer nuts. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to say a rebuttal, but it's not because I don't appreciate what you're saying here, and I can understand what you're saying. Beer Nut says, what Barry Bonds did saved baseball at the time. I remember everyone excited to actually watch baseball. Okay. I don't think baseball was in a decline and it was in such a bad place that Barry Bonds had to single-handedly save baseball. I disagree with you there. But I will say that his chase for the home run record did stir an excitement in baseball, which I think is natural. Anytime a record is about to fall, people want to tune in and they want to see it happen. I agree with that. But I do not agree with Major League Baseball was in such dire straits at the time, like back when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa had that home run duel. That was a fantastic home run thing that was going on, that home run race over the summer. And yeah, baseball was at its lowest point. I understand what they did for baseball. They brought a lot of fans back to the game. But I don't think that Barry Bonds breaking the home run record was the same thing. I don't think that saved baseball. But it certainly was fun to watch. Kiss to Cook. Feelings. We're talking about feelings. Feelings, not death. Feelings. Not like he might not make it. Feelings. Feelings, not death. Very good. Very good, Kiss to Cook. It's Patrick. Guys, we're probably close in age. And we all thought Barry Bonds Sr. was a good ball player. I thought he was a great ball player. Barry Bonds Jr. was a great ball player and belongs in the Hall of Fame. If he didn't do steroids to be a great ball player, just like Pete Rose. Randy, down with the Cardinals and D-backs. I'm going to go ahead and give you a beer anyway. There you go. What do you think of that, pal?
Hey, you're nicer than me.
There you go. It's Patrick. That's just for you. It's a frosty cold one. I hope you enjoy it. Fighting Wampa. Maybe LeBron is juicing. Maybe that's why he stopped wearing headbands He couldn't find one big enough to fit around his cranium anymore. Fighting
No,
Wampa.
he got hair plugs. He didn't need a headband to hide his receding hairline because he paid doctors to take hair and put it in where his hair was missing.
Where did they get the other hair?
I don't know. I think from just the back.
I
of
don't
your
want to
head.
know. I don't want to know.
I don't.
I don't want to. It's Patrick. Barry Bonds already had a hand and eye coordination. Oh, here we go. I've heard this argument. He already had hand and eye coordination. Baseball was so much more entertaining when Bonds, McGuire, Clemens, and Sosa played.
I mean, I was entertained by Barry Bonds. I was. It was fun watching him chase the home run record, even though I knew he was juicing.
So I screwed up his text. It's Patrick. Barry Bonds already had hand-eye coordination. He could have went up to the plate with a hanger and still made contact with that baseball, just like Rod Carew or Tony Gwynn. Yeah, that's true. He had spectacular hand-eye coordination. You're right. That's why he didn't need to. If you go back and you look at some of his home runs, including the record setter, they weren't mammoth shots. They weren't these mammoth moon shots. They just snuck over the fence. And you know, you're going to say, okay, Hank Aaron's 714 just skidded over the fence there, you know, against the Dodgers. Yeah, it did. It was a line drive. But my point is, if he wasn't juicing, are some of those home runs or are they long outs? I'm just saying.
Or are they doubles? Or are they triples?
I'm just saying. Just think about it. Blissful Hayes agrees with the last texter about saying Bonds saved baseball. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He says baseball was so much better when Bonds, McGuire, Clemens, and Sosa played. I mean, it was fun, yeah, but we didn't know we didn't know why they were so good. But when it all came out, didn't that kind of, I mean, for me, it kind of sullied the game for me. Just like, you know, I thought the Astros, I like, wow, these guys are talented. They're just hitting the cover though. But when it came out, I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't just cheat like that. It's one thing to steal a sign. You know, if you're a base runner or a base coach and the other team is not clear with their signs, they're not careful. It's one thing to do that, but to use cameras and electronic equipment, it's not cool, man. That's not what next? You know, what next? You're going to have a lipstick cam dug in there at home plate and maybe nobody sees it and you can steal signals that way? I'm like, what? You know, to me, that just kind of made me angry. And Barry Bonds, it made me angry when it came out. It's Patrick. Steroids didn't make him a better player. It just helped him. It helped him heal faster, and it made him stronger. And like I just said, he could hit the ball a little farther. So how many of those baseballs that were counted as home run balls were actually not home run balls? We got to take a break. I'm late. When we come back, we got to move on. Enough about this Barry Bonds stuff. It could go on for days. You guys are amazing. Thank you for texting in. We've talked about so much. We're going to continue on. 5 amazing Major League Baseball stats. I think that'll turn you on. And also a look at Eric Lewis, NBA referee. Burner account? That's around the corner on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and best-selling author on safety and preparedness. The fact is, things are getting downright scary for everyone who's storing their wealth in the banks. We just saw the collapse of 3 major banks, and I would urge you to consider protecting your wealth ASAP. If even a tiny percentage of Americans attempt to withdraw their savings, we would see a collapse of the entire banking system, sending us into a modern-day Great Depression. Fortunately, there is a way for you to avoid this. It starts with contacting Advantage Gold. If you have an IRA or 401k, Advantage Gold can help convert those paper assets into physical gold and silver. This is the process that I recommend everybody use as a hedge against rapid inflation and to protect your retirement wealth from the banks. Take control of your financial safety today. Call 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Advantage
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
If you're struggling, if you're lost, if you need someone to talk to, or if you're concerned about a loved one, call, text, or live chat the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 988 crisis counselors are available 24/7 to listen and provide free, confidential support when you need it most.
Thank you for contacting 988. How can I help you today?
The first step to help and healing is 3 numbers away. When you reach out to 988, hope always answers. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It is a Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic, as we roll towards 6 o'clock tonight. Lots of discussion going on about Barry Bonds. He's having a documentary come out. HBO is producing it. Barry himself says that he is working on his own documentary, and it's going to be bigger and better than HBO's. I mean, I don't know how you do that. I mean,
HBO's got a lot of money, Barry.
Barry's got a lot of money, though. I mean, okay. CK says, wait, you're late, Randy? That could explain the belly. Yeah. No. Kiss the Cook says, Barry Bonds' son to Barry. Daddy, why does your hair smell like pubes? What? We talk about Barry Bonds here? Barry shaved his head, man. We're talking about LeBron James got the hair plug thing.
You guys know that tomorrow's Friday, right?
This is not the Friday show.
We're not there yet.
Kyle G, I would still put Barry Bonds and Rose in the Hall of Fame with all the info attached. Let visitors see the bad and the good. These players tell the story of baseball, just like spitballers. More important to put an asterisk next to his record. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Kyle G. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But why go in the Hall of Fame at all? Pete Rose broke the rules. I will say that, where was it? Blissful Hayes says, moral of the story is steroids are good for baseball. MLB should legalize all drugs. Well, I don't know, though. I mean, the human in me says it's not good. I mean, it can tear you up. Lyle Alzado comes to mind. One of the most dominant defensive guys, in all of football. And he was roiding it big. And then he was a shell of a man dying of several different species of cancer, but the brain cancer got him. I mean, is that it just for our entertainment? Have we not come farther than the ancient Romans who used to put humans down in the Colosseum there in Rome and watch them just torn limb from limb by the beasts of the field, the lions and the tigers? And we call that sport? Is that what we've sunk into as a society? That we just we don't care about the human beings on the field? We would rather them just shoot up or do whatever they need to get out there so we can be entertained? Just legalize it all. Who cares? It's not me. I just want to be entertained.
But it also gets to competition thing too. I remember, we were talking on Monday about, you watched the Formula One race, and what was one of the things that you said was wrong with it? Well, if you have the best team and you've got the best car, you're probably winning the race, and you're probably winning it by a lot, like Verstappen did. Well, if we're going on that, like, do we get to the point where the person with the best steroids wins? Like, we're talking about trying to overcome the limitations of the human body through hard work. And then, guy comes in, might have some talent, but steroids puts him over somebody else. The person with the best steroids wins. I don't like that. That doesn't feel good to me.
I don't like the long-term effects of steroids. I'm sorry. And you know what, Blissful Hayes, that is your opinion. I'm not trying to rebuttal you. It just kind of hit a nerve with me. I mean, I'm all for competition. I'm all for seeing these great athletes play, but at what cost? What cost? I mean, we got to think about that. 888-368-1580. So, referee in the news here. Eric Lewis, who's been an NBA referee for some time, will not be working the NBA Finals while the league looks into some tweets. There are some now deleted tweets that were revealed by a pair of Twitter users last week. The league opened an investigation into whether Lewis violated NBA rules by speaking about officiating in an unauthorized manner. The league says regarding Eric Lewis and the social media posts, quote, "We are continuing to review the matter and will be working, and he will not be working the finals," end quote. That according to Mike Bass, the NBA spokesman earlier today. Apparently there was some tweets. I can't find his name again. That it was being used. The account now whether officiating. Lewis was using the account which utilizes the name Blair Cutliff. Blair Cutliff. Eric Lewis is a black man. He's a black referee, and he's using the account Blair Cutliff, which is about as Caucasian and upper class as you can get. That's what we were laughing about before we went on the air. Blair Cutliff. The account was deactivated briefly last week, but was active again Wednesday night. I don't know what he said on these accounts. I'm trying to find this. Do you know what he said on these? He allegedly said on these accounts?
I think what it was, I'm going to try and find the specifics right now. I think what it was that he was defending some of his own officiating decisions as this third party.
Blair Cutliff is defending Eric Lewis. Oh my God. Why? So there's an investigation going on into Eric Lewis and this Twitter account from Blair Cutliff. Good night. He will not be reffing the finals. Speaking of the finals, I did not know this, but you brought this, and maybe the fourth dimension knows this. But according to this article, the starting five, 60% of the Heat starters were not even drafted. I mean, how 60% of the starting five of the Miami Heat were not even drafted? How does that happen, Keon?
How does that happen? Guys slip through the cracks in the NBA evaluation. We talk about in the NFL how hard it is to get the quarterback position correct. There's some intangible about quarterbacks that we just can't seem to get correct. And so you have guys fall through the cracks. You have Brock Purdy get all the way to the end of the draft. Because there was something that we were missing in that particular evaluation. Russell Wilson's a fourth round, quarterback. There's just something we're not able to grab. Now imagine all 5 positions are the quarterback on the floor. That's the NBA. There's some guys that are no-brainers. Every now and then you get a Peyton Manning, you get an Andrew Luck, but there are just a lot of guys who are good players who maybe need some extra coaching, need some extra work, need the right culture, and the NBA doesn't know how to analyze that. They're trying to add more to their combine so they can try and get more information and get more data. But the fact is, a lot of this Heat roster, guys like Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Max Strus, they fell through the cracks. Max Strus was playing for the Boston Celtics. They cut him. And he wound up in Miami playing for the Heat.
Wow, did they miss out?
Yeah. And he's been a big contributor to what they're doing. Duncan Robinson. So, this is part of what the Miami Heat are really good at, is player development, getting the guys that maybe other teams in the league just don't know enough about and trying to get that talent out of them. The Heat organization have been one of the best in the NBA in terms of doing that. So I'm looking down here. They're saying that Caleb Martin wasn't drafted. He was picked up by the Charlotte Hornets in August of 21. Gabe Vincent. He played 2 seasons for the Stockton Kings before the Miami Heat signed him on a 2-way contract. What is a 2-way contract? What does that mean? I'm actually not sure if I know. I don't know if I've heard that phrase.
Max Strus, you were talking about Max Strus. Yeah, he went undrafted in 2019. Celtics signed him to a 2-way contract, and then he signed on with the Chicago Bulls, but he wasn't picked up.
Yeah, 2-way contract allows you to play for an NBA team and play for the G League team at the same time.
Jimmy Butler was drafted. 30th pick in the 2011 draft. Bam Adebayo, he came out of high school. He wasn't drafted. Oh, yes, he was. He was selected 14th pick of the 2017 NBA draft. But Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, all 3 of those guys are undrafted guys. Came into the league undrafted. And now they're starting in the NBA Finals.
And not only did they come into the league undrafted, all 3 of those guys were signed to other teams first before they wound up in Miami.
This is what makes this Miami team, I think, so dangerous, because you just don't know what's going to happen. These guys are coming in hot, man. They're coming in off a series against the Celtics. They have all the confidence in the world. And now you've got guys that weren't drafted trying to make a name for themselves in the NBA. How huge is this for them? Just to be in the finals. Just to be in the finals, let alone win the damn thing.
I mean, it'll be one of the more amazing finals victories that I've ever seen, just based on the talent that they've got out there. Also, I did find a Blair Cutcliffe tweet.
No, you did?
Yep.
Do we need to do it after the break?
Let's do it after the break.
All right. Blair Cutcliffe has been revealed. Ladies and gentlemen, Blair Cutcliffe is in the green room. We'll hear his tweet around the corner. It's 2 hours down and 1 to go on this Thursday edition of the Daily Blender. Also, some bold NFL predictions. Shannon Sharp, he's making a job change. And the NFLPA reportedly unable to collect $41 million plus in revenue stemming from cryptocurrency. That and so much more on this date in Big Georgia sports history. And we've got a wheel of sports. It's all around the corner next in hour number 3 of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Stay tuned.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-736-6158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-736-6158. That's 800-736-6158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-736-6158. Again, 800-736-6158.
What if I told you there's a firm that will create a customized portfolio and financial plan for you and offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee? Think it doesn't exist? Think again.
Hi, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. When you start a new relationship with Compact, we'll create your customized investment portfolio and financial plan dedicated to help you reach your goals. Try us out for a year. If you're not happy for any reason, you'll get all of the management and maintenance fee that you paid refunded. This is our 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 to find out more. That's 800-388-9700. Satisfaction guarantee doesn't apply to fees and commissions charged by third parties for such things as insurance products or mutual fund redemptions. It also doesn't apply to any market losses which might occur in an account. For additional information regarding this guarantee, please see the disclosure brochure available at the time you enroll or upon request.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
It is Thursday, June the 1st, and the 5 o'clock and final hour of the Daily Blender on this Thursday. As we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale, from the Megaplex of CRC Broadcasting. Right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio, that's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien is on assignment. I do not claim to be Jeffrey O'Brien in any way, shape, or form. However, my name is Randy White, and I'll be your humble host as we head for 6 o'clock tonight, along with my good friend Keon here. You're texting in the fourth dimension on the text line at 888-368-1580. If you haven't texted in before, don't be afraid. Go ahead and text in. There are a lot of people that do it. Like CK, Weather Daddy. Are we getting a weather report today? CK is my friend. Even though he said I was late and my fat belly could be that I'm pregnant. It's all in good fun. We're all having fun here. So don't be afraid. Be a first-time texter and let us meet you here in the fourth dimension. Although they bark a lot, they do not bite. We're all friends here. 888-368-1580. Before the break, we were talking about Eric Lewis, who's an NBA referee. I mean, if you guys don't think these guys are on the take, please. But now Eric Lewis has done something that I just don't understand. He opened up a Twitter account under the name Blair Cutliff. And my sidekick here, my pal, has found a tweet from Blair Cutliff, and we're going to read it now live here on the Daily Blender. Keon Rose, please. What does Blair Cutliff have to say?
So one of the tweets that Blair Cutliff put out was responding to somebody else's tweet where somebody photoshopped his face onto a Celtics jersey. And it says, "Nuff said, he hates the Lakers."
Eric Reed hates the Lakers.
Yeah, Eric Lewis hates the Lakers.
Eric Lewis. If you're Eric Reed, I apologize.
To which Blair Cutliff responds, "GTFO, stop placing blame and hold your team accountable. You act like the Dubs are Bama." He's all over this thread. In another instance, he said, "You blame it on them? Get out of here. Man, Denver flat out beat y'all. Guess the Lakers need the rest to give them something to win. How about stop Joker and Murray? Laker Nation, funny as
bleep.
Hold your players accountable. Refs had nothing to do with y'all losing. Laker Nation, blame shifting." Lakers still blaming refs, huh? Y'all play the number one team in the NBA and they don't get any credit? Y'all funny.
So Blair Cutliff sounds like he's got a little South in him.
Just a little bit.
got a little South in him. Maybe he's not from the from these suburbs. Maybe I was wrong about Blair Cutliff. All right.
Some of them, he's breaking them down. I can't argue that. I would look at the fouls, all based on jump shots versus drives. Same in Warriors versus Lakers. Warriors perimeter team where Lakers play at the basket. Truth is Denver's a better overall team. They've shown it all year. The number one seed ain't easy. So he's trying to act like he's a fan.
And those are innocuous enough. You know what I mean? It seems like if he had a Twitter account, he could respond that way and he not get in trouble with the NBA, right?
I actually don't know. I don't think the NBA would like their refs going back and forth with fans, honestly.
See, I think it's good and healthy. I don't have a problem with it.
It probably does have some level of transparency to it that, generally speaking, the NBA doesn't have.
I don't see anything wrong with those tweets. I don't know why. Okay, other than maybe there is a regulation against a rule against the referees interacting with the fans. But it doesn't sound like it was anything. He wasn't making fun of anyone. He wasn't, promoting himself.
But I do think the NBA is afraid that by going back and forth with fans, that's going to influence some of your refereeing.
I could see that, yeah.
Because in order to prove to them, no, I'm not, in fact, a Lakers hater. Maybe you start swinging some calls their way, or the other direction. Maybe you double down, and your calls get worse.
Yeah. Okay, so Eric Lewis in trouble with the NBA. They are investigating. I mean, I could see what you're saying. Maybe it would sway your calls. I guess it's sort of like being on jury duty. You're not supposed to talk about. I said duty. You're not supposed to talk about the case you're working. But all right, 888-368-1580. Eric Lewis being investigated by the NBA for having a burner account. Blair Cutliff lives. 888-368-1580. There's 5 MLB stats I think are interesting before we start talking about NFL, and these are crazy. In just the month of May, some MLB stats are really standing out here. I was reading this article. As a matter of fact, Keon brought this article, and it's very interesting. It's written by Yahoo Sports. It's called "Strength in Numbers: From Aaron Judge to the Oakland A's, 5 stats that wowed us in May. And I agree. If you look at the first one here they bring up, it's the slash line from Aaron Judge, a 356 batting average, 484 on base percentage, and a 918 slugging percentage just in the month of May. I mean, that's crazy. Overall, he's batting 298 on the season with 18 home runs, and his OPS is 1.088. Then you got Michael Wacha's ERA. Michael Wacha is the starting pitcher for the Padres. They haven't had much to cheer about so far. But in the month of May, he's had a 0.84 ERA. That's a sub-1 ERA. In his May starts, including 2 7-inning outings, he struck out 26 and walked just 5, while only allowing 3 runs all month long.
I can't even understand that. It's such an absurd stat.
Yeah, and I know they go out there every 5 days or whatever, every 4 or 5 days. I get it. But still, that's a sub-1 ERA. I mean, you got to go out there. You got to pitch.
And he pitched at least 6 in all of his starts, so it's not a small sample size either.
The Texas Rangers record in May, 18-8. 18-8. Let that sink in for a second. The Texas Rangers. The Oakland A's on the other side of the spectrum here. 6-23 in May. You still think Kyler wants to go play baseball for Oakland?
Won 6 games in a whole month.
That's a long ass month, man. When you're talking about 31 days.
I mean, I know A's fans are kind of sad to see their team go, but guys,
they could be one of the worst teams in MLB history. They're stacking them up against the 1899 Cleveland Spiders, who finished the season with a 20-134 record. 6-23 in May. 5 games. The most any NL team is trailing in the wild card race just by 5 games. Which, by the way, repeating the headline story today, the Diamondbacks walk it off. Corbin Carroll drives in 2 RBI with a last-ditch effort in the 9th inning to beat the Rockies 5-4. That means your Arizona Diamondbacks are now tied with the Dodgers for the NL West lead. And the Diamondbacks also are tied for the best record in the National League. Give me that wave. Let me ride it for a while. I'm not saying anything other than I'm a happy Diamondbacks fan. And no, I did not see it coming.
None of us saw it coming, obviously. I mean, you knew that they were going to be improved this season. I just don't think, this much improved. I don't think anybody guessed that. By the way, they're on a 5-game winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 10 games, and they're rolling. They're rolling.
I love it. Woo! I don't get the weird looks when I wear my Diamondbacks hat out. We need to get Ralph on the show tomorrow. We need to have Ralph on the show tomorrow. Absolutely. Because the Dodgers will be in action against the Yankees. Are they on the road in New York City? The Yankees? Or I mean the Dodgers?
Hold on just 1 second.
Or are they in LA?
They're in LA.
Ah, damn.
They're in LA.
That's too bad.
But, with Aaron Judge hitting the ball the way he's hitting it, I don't think it matters where the game is, to be honest. It's going to still be tough.
Yeah. The air smells fresher. The food tastes better. It's a good day to be a Diamondbacks fan. So those are 5 amazing MLB stats I just wanted to cover with you all. I thought it was pretty cool. Did you hear Jeff Van Gundy? So apparently he was on with his partner, Mark Jackson. And some fans were reacting to Mark Jackson not voting for the Joker to be the MVP. And along comes Van Gundy to back him up, calling some of the Denver fans clowns for overreacting to Mark Jackson's MVP vote. See, this is what I mean. Just because somebody casts a vote and you don't agree with it doesn't make you the judge and jury to start really, meleeing this guy with all sorts of negativity. It's his vote. I mean, what happened is some semblance of respect.
And he admitted he screwed up.
So he admitted it, and then the Denver fan base started clowning him again. And Van Gundy called them clowns. Whoops. Van Gundy has no filter, it seems like, anymore.
He doesn't. I mean, he
could be in the middle of the game. He's like, you know what? I want a hot dog. I'm hungry. Is there any way we can get some? I mean, there's a game going on, Stan. Can I get a couple of hot dogs down here at the announcer position?
And poor Mike Breen has to try and corral him back to talking about basketball. It'll just be the middle of the game, and then Jeff Van Gundy will go, you know what? I think gas prices are way too high. And Mike Breen just gives him this look like, where are you going with this? And of course, he's not going anywhere basketball related. He really wanted to just complain about gas prices. So he did.
When I see that, it kind of makes me think about the way Jeffrey looks at me. Because I come out of the left field every once in a while. And then I go back out into the weeds. Anyway, so good on Stan Van Gundy for at least having a coherent moment and standing up and, letting people know it doesn't matter what you think. This guy, he even admitted he made a mistake, and enough is enough. You guys got to back off at some point, accept the fact that he said he's sorry. He made a mistake. It is what it is. Now deal with it. Move on.
I mean, laugh at it if you want. It's funny. I mean, it's funny that you're voting for the MVP of the league and Joker doesn't make your list at all.
Well, I mean, that was clearly a bad one.
Yeah. And he explained, what he was thinking when he did it and that he, wouldn't do it again if he had thought about it properly.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's enough. If a guy is actually genuinely like, okay, I made a mistake, I screwed up, you got to let it go. You got to let people be able to come back from stuff, man.
888-368-1580. We've got some bold NFL predictions. I seem to be stammering a lot today. I apologize. I'm not having a stroke. I'm really okay. Anyway, some bold NFL predictions. I want to talk about that, but I don't want to do it until after the break. So we'll go to the text line and we'll see what's going on with the fourth dimension. Fighting Wampa says, how does one get caught when they have a burner account? It's good. That's a good point. That's a good point right there, Fighting Wampa. How do you get caught when you have a burner account? That's there must be some back door you can find out who opened the account. You know what I mean? Back door. Oh no. Fourth dimension's going to be on there. Boomer Sooner says, can I get a beer? Absolutely. There you go, Boomer Sooner. The Tom says, I can remember like it was yesterday, Barry Bonds on Chris Meyer's show on ESPN during the Mark McGuire Sosa home run chase. And you can see Bonds stewing. And next season, he looks like Godzilla. Also, the baseball strike really hurt the game back then. Yeah, it did. But people were coming back after the McGuire Sosa thing. Barry Bonds didn't single-handedly save baseball.
And just randomly, or not randomly, but back to the previous question, the reason why Eric Lewis got caught is because while he was defending NBA officials, Blair Cutliff seemed to really only be defending Eric Lewis and Eric Lewis's decisions. But Blair Cutliff didn't defend any other referee.
You're right, Parlay J. They were hilarious. They were hilarious. Hefty lefty. There's only 60 guys drafted each year in the NBA. So good undrafted players are more common. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Only 60 guys are drafted?
Because they only have 2 rounds. So,
Don't you think it's time for them to expand that to maybe 4 rounds?
I mean, maybe
now that they have these G League teams,
but also you have some of these good undrafted players, and then some of the guys that get drafted just flat out wash out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a combination of both of those things.
Kiss to Cook says steroids at what cost? Ask Tony Mandrich or Brian Bosworth. Agreed. Mr. Wilbur, the boss is away, so the kids will play. Suck it, Jeffrey. We're having fun without you. Party on, boys. Welcome to Friday. Well, Wilbur, it's Thursday.
just as a fact about reality.
Mr. Wilbur, it's Thursday. It's Friday Eve.
I mean, we're close.
Yeah. Big George says, you know what else is impressive, Randy? No, I don't, Big George. Why don't you tell me? Okay, I will. The Diamondbacks have a 5-game lead on the NL wild card. That means they would have to they would host the first round of the playoffs. If they win the division, they get a first-round bye. Go D-backs! I love it too, Randy. Easy, Big George. Easy. It's going to be okay. It's only June. Take a deep breath with me. Rattlers, number one Rattlers fan says, why didn't you guys broadcast from Diamondback Stadium? They had a day game, and there was a special on tickets, $9.87. See, I know what you just did right there. And I don't like it, number one Rattlers fan. I'm not going to point it out. But if we go and broadcast live from Diamondback stadiums, we don't have to pay any money to be there. We get this thing called a press pass. And we can go and broadcast there. And that price is offensive to me. Blissful Hayes says, Ralph should be a permanent host on the Blender. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Blissful Hayes? Yes, I would, Randy. That's why I said Ralph should be a permanent host on the Blender. Got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some amazing, bold season predictions for the NFL. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Start betting smarter. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Vegas Golden Knights of the Florida Panthers are meeting in the Stanley Cup Finals with Game 1 in Las Vegas on Saturday night. The Golden Knights are minus 125 to win the Cup, while the Panthers are plus 105. Conn Smythe Trophy that is going to the MVP, Sergei Bobrovsky of the Panthers, who the goaltender, is at plus 200 to win that award. Matthew Tkachuk, 21 points this postseason for Florida, plus 360. Las Vegas, Jack Eichel, plus 400. Jonathan Marchand is plus 650 to win the Conn Smythe. Aiden Hill, Vegas's goaltender, is a plus 1,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month. A savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, Language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
New schedule, new season, new direction. This year, the Cardinals will travel over 25,000 miles. They will do battle against Bears, Browns, Texans, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Eagles, Steelers, and Commanders on the road. They will face the Bengals, Cowboys, Giants, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Falcons, and Ravens at home. Think there won't be drama? When it comes to Arizona Cardinals football, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that, Mr. Pringle. He wants to send Keon to LA to cover the series against the Yankees. A, I don't think Keon likes the Dodgers. B, I don't think Keon likes the Yankees. And C, he needs to stay here with us.
Correct, and correct.
I see Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on this June 1st. Hey, don't forget to pay your mortgage or your rent. Heavy Metal Maniacs. Diamondbacks are a fantastic, young, and talented team that's getting their groove on. Let's go, Diamondbacks. Let's go. That's a beer for you. I love that. Booze and Raider says, Randy, let me double shots of your finest bourbon, please. I mean, when you say you just want to double, right? Number one Rattlers fan says, my sincerest apologies. I've been using voice to text and didn't realize it until you said something on the air. My bad. Did I say something about him using voice to text? I didn't think I did. Another mystery is unfolding here live before our very eyeballs. Number one Rattlers fan says he apologizes, didn't realize that he was using voice to text until I said something on the air. This is very mysterious. But I feel like the truth is out there somewhere. 888-368-1580. So one of the periodicals that men like to read is Sports Illustrated. And no, not because of the swimsuit thing. Sports. And apparently there's some guy that works here, Connor Orr. For some reason, everybody is tuned in to this Connor Orr, to his bold predictions for this upcoming NFL season. And I thought, well, okay, let's see. Let's put this up against the fourth dimension there, Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated and swimsuit periodical. Let's see what you got. Because the fourth dimension will disassemble you if you're not spot on, Connor Orr. So let's start with, he actually had 100 bold predictions because this was, 100 days to the NFL kickoff. Well, now it's 99. And I'm not going to get through all 99 here. But I'm just going to throw a few of them out here, fourth dimension and Keon, Tell me what you think. And let's see how Connor Orr has done. The first one, the Bengals will defeat the 49ers in Super Bowl LVIII. True or I don't think so. Keon?
I don't think so. I think you're asking a lot there of everything we saw last year from Brock Purdy to come off of an elbow injury where you just had, Tommy John surgery essentially, and go out there and do it again.
I don't think the 49ers know what they're doing at quarterback yet.
I don't think they're 100% either. I think they have a good problem, but it's still kind of a problem to figure out what do you have in Trey Lance.
I think Dark Helmet is hoping that Brock Purdy heals faster than has been outlined, because lately the Dark Helmet has been talking about Brock Purdy this, Brock Purdy that. It's still Brock Purdy's team, blah blah blah. I don't think he wants to run Lance out there. Is it Lance?
Yeah, it's Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he wants to run him out there, and he sure as hell doesn't want Sam Darnold to be out there. So I think that this is a farce. I don't see the 49ers in Super Bowl LVIII.
The Bengals could get there, though, obviously.
I'll give them the Bengals, but only slightly, maybe. All right, here's another one. Christian McCaffrey will become the first back since 2006 to surpass 20 rushing touchdowns. Now, isn't he on the 49ers?
Yeah.
Is this guy just going to do all 49ers stuff?
Yeah, I don't know if Orr is a 49ers guy, but I think that this seems to be leaning towards the 49ers. This is from the Niners Newswire.
What the hell's going on here? I would have never chosen this.
So
I thought
you got to click through on the link to find the actual 100 from the guy. What's his name again? Connor Orr.
Connor Orr. I'm okay. Now I see the link. All right, here we go. I'm not going to sit there and stroke the egos of all these 49er fans out there. The Bengals will defeat the 49ers Super Bowl LVIII. Mark Andrews will be the Ravens leading receiver.
Well, that's true every year, basically, right?
Maybe I should call my team the Ravens. Hey, that just came across my mind. With my fantasy football team, you may not be up with me, fourth dimension. My team has been, we've had a lawsuit levied against us by the Seattle Kraken, who are now the bane of my existence. They have taken my fantasy football team, which was Release the Kraken. So now I've been Big George, and Big George, by the way, fought valiantly. I now have to change, and it might be the Ravens. The Ravens. What were you saying? I'm sorry, Keon. Mark Andrews will be the Ravens' leading receiver.
I mean, yeah. That's almost a fact and a guarantee year after year. He's Lamar's favorite target.
The Patriots will win the AFC East.
No, what?
These are bold predictions now. Bold.
Did Josh Allen decide to go to Fiji and never come back? Because that's the only way that the Patriots are winning that division.
Who wins these? Bills?
I don't think the Patriots are finishing above the Dolphins and the Jets either. I think the Bills win it.
So what do you got? Bills, Jets, Patriots?
I mean, boy, but those Dolphins. I'm because I don't know if I can trust Tua to stay healthy. I'll go with that. Yeah,
it's a tough division, isn't it?
It is.
If Tua gets, and I mean this respectfully, if Tua gets bonked on the head again, is that it for Tua Tagovailoa?
I would almost have to think so, because at that point you've got to protect the guy from himself. You have enough concussions in that short of a window your brain is not going to work when it's older.
He's already walking around with a handkerchief to wipe the slobber that's coming out of his mouth.
And I feel scared for the guy because we've seen how those hits add up over time, and that's
okay. Here's another bold prediction by Connor Orr. Is it Connor Orr? Is that his name?
That is his name.
Connor Orr. The Packers will win 10 games. Bold predictions from Connor Orr from the swimsuit magazine.
Well, you know what? The predictions are as advertised. They are bold because wow, no. Jordan Love. I like Jordan as a guy. I think he seems like a pretty cool person, but 10 games?
Packers will win 10 games is his bold prediction. He says Green Bay is 24th in strength of schedule. Plays only one team coming off a bye. Packers have 3 short weeks, which is a lot, but is less punishing when your quarterback is under 25. Packers will win 10 games in the upcoming season.
Really depends on Jordan Love.
Keon says no.
I don't trust him.
I wish Jeffrey was here. Because on this list also, Anthony Richardson will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, come on, with Bryce Young and what's his name for the other team? CJ Stroud
in Houston. And then, of course, some of these wide receivers that are out there. Jordan
Anthony
Addison,
Richardson's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Zay
Bryce
Flowers.
Young.
Well, the thing is, if Anthony Richardson plays, the way he plays, if they're able to do what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts early in his career, with as athletic as Anthony Richardson is, it's possible he could put up the kinds of stupid video game Lamar Jackson kind of numbers on the ground that would win it.
All right. Another bold prediction from Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated. Ready? This is a biggie. There will be 9 head coaching vacancies at the end of the season. 9 head coaching vacancies at the end of the season.
Is that ridiculous? Let me think about this. I
hear you typing. I know you're trying to do some research on the fly here.
Not some research. I'm just trying to pull up the standings. So
he says the candidates will all be obsessing over by November will include Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. It will also be Panthers DC Ejiro Evero. I just murdered his name. Dolphins OC Frank Smith. There, it's more like it. Raiders DC Patrick Graham. Panthers quarterback coach Josh McCown. What? OC for the Panthers Thomas Brown and Brian Callahan and Mike Kafka.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't see 9 vacancies here.
There will be 9.
9,
according to Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated.
Who's getting fired? Like I'm trying to figure this out.
I don't know. He says 9 of them. I don't know. Thought you would know that.
I mean, I'm going through division by division. I don't see anybody on a particular hot seat. I don't see anybody in the AFC East.
9.
You look at the AFC North. They're never going to fire Mike Tomlin. You know, the Ravens would have to have a horrific season for Harbaugh to get the axe. They're not going from Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. Stefanski's been really solid in Cleveland. I don't know. AFC South.
What about San Diego?
Take a look at the Chargers. Yeah, I mean Staley could probably get fired if he.
So there's one. We've got 8 more.
If you're in the playoffs and you burst into flames like that, you know, if the Commandos don't make the playoffs, Ron Rivera could potentially be gone.
Can we fire Cliff Kingsbury again?
I mean, I would love to, but I don't think you can. But yeah, he's in college, so maybe the USC would have to help you out with that. Yeah, I don't know. In the NFC South, like all those teams are not great. Maybe Tampa Bay goes separate ways with Todd Bowles.
That's 2. And if we fire Cliff Kingsbury again, that would be 3.
That would be 3.
Is there some way
so
we
if
could
say
fire Cliff Kingsbury again?
Chargers, Commanders, Buccaneers, and then of course Cardinals for firing Kingsbury again.
Yeah.
That's about as many as I think I can.
All right, these are great bold predictions. We've got to
Yeah.
take a break. Let's go to the text line quickly, though. Heavy Metal Maniac says the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, he wants me to read it like this. The Dallas Cowboys will win the East and finally make it back to the Super Bowl. Heavy Metal Maniac's bold prediction for this upcoming NFL season. What say you, Keon? Oh boy, I don't think this.
They could win the East. They're talented enough to win the East. I'll give you that.
Suede Dave says
Super
bold
Bowl.
prediction: the Lions will win a playoff game this year.
No, that could happen.
Yeah,
no, that could really happen. I want to laugh at that. That's my instinct, but that could actually happen.
Okay, Mr. Wilbur has a bold prediction. And this is for Ralph. Kyler Murray will win Comeback Player of the Year by playing in the last 12 games of the season and finishing second in passing efficiency in the National Football League. Mr. Wilbur. You're quiet over there.
I don't think so.
No?
He needs some help, and the team's rebuilding right now. You know, his best target, they just cut him.
CK says, a big giant rooster Brock will be fine, even if he isn't ready for week one. The 49ers have proven they can put it together and finish strong. Niners beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, and C-Mac hits the 18 touchdown mark. Hit me with a foghorn. Is that a deserve a foghorn? Okay.
I mean, it's
All right.
pretty bold prediction there. Yeah.
Big giant rooster Brock. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, more bold predictions on this date in Big George's sports history, and a whole bunch more. It's the Daily Blender, kids, here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harman Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harman Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmansolar.com.
Hi, this is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and best-selling author on safety and preparedness. The fact is, things are getting downright scary for everyone who's storing their wealth in the banks. We just saw the collapse of 3 major banks, and I would urge you to consider protecting your wealth ASAP. If even a tiny percentage of Americans attempt to withdraw their savings, we would see a collapse of the entire banking system, sending us into a modern-day Great Depression. Fortunately, there is a way for you to avoid this. It starts with contacting Advantage Gold. If you have an IRA or 401k, Advantage Gold can help convert those paper assets into physical gold and silver. This is the process that I recommend everybody use as a hedge against rapid inflation and to protect your retirement wealth from the banks. Take control of your financial safety today. Call 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Chase loves soccer.
I'm Chase Greer, and I'm 12 years old.
And his dream is to turn pro. That's why Chase and his family make sure he's always having fun and squeezing out his best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, buddy, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit on the go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
That's my boy.
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender on this June 1st in the 5 o'clock hours. We're heading for 6. This is the third and final segment of the day. Producer Cecil, the Wonder Dog, in the background there, and that last commercial a bit disparaging for me. I'm pretty sure Chase squeezed something out all over my console here. At least clean up after yourself, Chase. Anyway. Where was 888-368-1580? More bold predictions from the NFL, the upcoming NFL season, and right around the corner on this date in Big Georgia sports history, by the way. Fifth letter says bold prediction: the Raiders will go 0-17 and draft Caleb Williams first overall in the 2024 NFL draft. Even fifth letter, even Cecil the Wonder Dog does not believe that. They're going to win just enough games to ruin it for you. I'm just saying. Silver Pop says, bold prediction: Kyler will rush back and get hurt again. David Blau will lead the Cardinals to the NFC Championship game. I mean, I like your thinking, Silver Pops. As unrealistic as it is a bold prediction. Boomer Sooner says, bold prediction: where is Ralph? Fish Tank on the text line. Bold prediction: the Dolphins find a new miraculous way to totally bum me out. Pink Eye, Mr. Pink Eye says, bold prediction: Carson Wentz will win a game for the Cardinals. You keep his name out of your mouth. Carson Wentz.
I sure hope not. I hope that does not happen to you.
It's Patrick says, Randy, I hope your Cardinals win only 4 to 5 games this upcoming season, and that's it. You're that afraid of us. Is that it? It's Patrick. You're that afraid of the big red machine coming to life? The giant red carnivorous bird rising from the silver nest in the West Valley? Is that what you're afraid of, it's Patrick? I think so. All right, here's more SI bold predictions. We can't do too much longer, but this is about it before we go on this date in Big George's sports history. Deshaun Watson will finish the season with a career high in rushing yards and touchdowns. What say you, Keon Rose?
No. No, that's not going to happen. No.
Not no, but hell no.
Absolutely not.
Huh.
Hell to the no, no. Hell, no.
Go ahead and preach that. Another bold prediction. I wish my pal Jeffrey was here. The Colts' Shane Steichen will win the Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, I mean, if Anthony Richardson plays and goes off, he probably will. If we're honest, because then that means that the Colts are probably going to the playoffs. The AFC South is terrible, and he's going to get a lot of credit for the success of Anthony Richardson if he plays. But that's what it would take.
Another bold prediction: 49ers safety Talanoa Hufanga. Did I get it right?
maybe.
Talanoa Hufanga will lead the NFL in interceptions.
No.
No.
No. I mean, he's a good football player. He's a really good football player, actually. But lead the league? Nah, he had 4 last year, I think.
What if he's another Troy Polamalu?
I mean, that would be really cool, but I'd have to see that first.
Here's another bold prediction for the upcoming season. I don't know where he's getting this. This is Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated. Perhaps he was looking at the proofs from the swimsuit issue, but I don't know how he arrives at this. A former NFL player will announce a bid for a high-profile political seat. He says Malcolm Jenkins, Nick Mangold, Rob Gronkowski, Adam Vinatieri. What do you think?
All smart, well-spoken guys. But no, like it's not something that happens all the time. I mean, it does happen, but
Here's another bold prediction. Baker Mayfield, Baker, the touchdown maker, will throw for 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, he could probably do that. If the Buccaneers play him the whole season, he could probably throw 16 touchdowns. He'd probably throw a lot of picks too.
Matthew Stafford will be dealt to another team coached by a Sean McVay disciple.
I mean, why?
Cliff Kingsbury will be fired again by the Arizona Cardinals and will somehow factor majorly into the 2023 season and, more importantly, the 2024 draft.
Well, yeah, he's coaching the guy that's going to be in the 2024 draft. That's going to be, at least right now, as far as we believe, the number 1 player taken in that draft. I don't know that. I don't even know that that's a bold prediction. That's just a prediction. That's just a very normal.
So far, this has been bad, hasn't it?
Some of these have just been wild swings, which, if you make 100 bold predictions, I suppose some of them are going to be crazy.
Bold prediction. Neither Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibson will lead all rookies in rushing.
That does sound insane to me. And I wonder who he thinks, would be the actual person to do it. Because, both of those guys were drafted really high. The Lions really want to use Jahmyr Gibbs a lot. And Bijan Robinson's going to be, all over the field. They're going to use, they love to run the ball. Why wouldn't it be Bijan Robinson? That doesn't make any sense to me.
A beautiful, happily rotund German man, initially dressed as Andy Reid, will streak across the football field in Frankfurt Stadium wearing only a mustache.
I sure hope not. But I guess if they're playing in Frankfurt, I won't be awake. So maybe that could be funny for somebody.
I wonder if I can get a flight there. Samaji Perine will break your hearts in fantasy football playoffs.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
J.K. Dobbins will rush for 1,200 yards.
Yeah, I could buy that. Back with Lamar Jackson in that offense.
You will forget to cancel Peacock. These are all bold predictions.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm
to
just
the best
reading.
Of us. That happens to the best of us.
Just reading them.
You subscribe for one reason or one show, or in this case, the NFL, and then forget. That could happen.
The last bold prediction. Austin Eckler will lead the NFL in total touchdowns for a 3rd straight season.
Is that bold? Like their running offense basically is Austin Eckler. Yeah, I could see that happening.
It's our bold predictions for the upcoming football season. Quickly, before we go to to the text line. Let me get this done. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 2007, after being ejected from the game against the Chattanooga Lookouts, Mississippi Braves manager Philip Wellman kicked dirt on home plate, then proceeded to draw the umpire's strike zone in the soil before tossing third base into the outfield. Crawling to the mound, the minor league skipper continued his tirade, throwing the rosin bag like a hand grenade at the stunned umpire. Then literally took second base and home with him when he exited AT&T Field. Back to you, Randy. Now, you're a big Chattanooga Lookouts guy.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there that night?
I was not.
2007?
No, I actually hadn't moved to Chattanooga yet.
Philip Wellman lost his bleep.
Lost his mind. Yeah. Just lost. I mean, lost everything really. But I remember seeing that circulate on the internet, but I was not there yet.
That's too bad.
It's a damn shame. I missed a great moment in minor league baseball history.
Speaking of circulating on the internet, Tom Brady emphasizes in a video today on social media that he will not, absolutely not, under any circumstances, come back and play football. He was on a chat, it looks like, with a Robin Lundberg, whoever that gentleman is. And he said on there he will not be coming back. He's looking forward to his broadcasting job at Fox next year. I'm looking forward to the opportunity ahead with the Raiders. And we're in the process of that, along with other different things that I'm a part of professionally and in my personal life. End quote. Sorry, Raider fans. Tom Brady not playing football or quarterback for you. And this in from the News of the Weird, Kirk Herbstreit, who I didn't think had any emotion whatsoever. He's so syrupy soft and kind to everybody. Got into an argument about his beloved Reds.
It's very unlike him.
With Ken Rosenthal, of all people. Ken, I'm wearing a bow tie Rosenthal. And he got upset at Rosenthal, talking about his beloved Cincinnati Reds.
And the Reds fans, by the way, loved it.
Herbstreit went on later and explained his tirade, saying it just kind of infuriated me. Well, I guess so.
It was not a mild reaction. I mean, he lost it.
Never told you how to do your job. I don't even know who you are. I'm a fan who loves his team. You're a troll looking for attention. Hustle back to creating clicks and causing trouble. Wow. Wow.
Did you know that Kirk Herbstreit could talk to somebody that way? Because I didn't. I just assumed he was too nice.
I guess it wasn't Rosenthal. I guess this was some guy named C. Trent Rosencrans. Funny how at Kirk Herbstreit says he doesn't know anything about Ellie De La Cruz and says he likes Matt McCain, but he knows how to do my job, which he seems to think is to promote the Reds and help them win. Never told you how to do your job. Don't even know who you are. Boom, right there. That right there is a flamer. Right there. I don't even know who you are, Jack. I'm a fan who love my team. You're a troll looking for attention. Another flamer right there. Just burn this guy to the ground.
Hustle back to creating clicks and causing trouble.
I love it.
That was 3 strikes from Kirk Herbstreit.
Well, we don't have time for the Wheel of Sports. I'll save it for tomorrow. On tomorrow's show, we're efforting to get Ralph in here.
So I got bad news on that front.
Uh-oh.
Ralph is in Texas, and he doesn't have his equipment with him.
That's too bad. That's too damn bad. Well, I guess it's just me and you and the Fourth Dimension tomorrow. I could take those odds.
On a legitimate Friday show, so I'm expecting some crazy things.
Mr. Pink Eye, Packers will win more games than the Jets. Bold prediction. Mars Bars, A's to Las Vegas, 8:05, please. All right, there you Hey, Mr. Pringle, nowhere did Tom Brady mention spending time with his kids. LOL. Yeah, he did. I read it. It was in quotes. He said it. But hey, Mr. Pringle, we agree to disagree. All right, this has been the Daily Blender. We've been broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale, from the CRC Mega Broadcasting Complex. That's the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien has been out on assignment. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m., same time.
Win the battle against